So, so I want to ask you, and I just want you to be kind of like true about this. If you could remake any old school movie, like back in the day retro movie, what would it be? Like straight, easy.
If I could remake any classic retro movie, it would be uh, Night of the Creeps. That was the weirdest 1980s horror film to this day that I remember. I mean, evil slugs, they turned people into zombies. They came and crash landed from a comet. It has a bunch of great one-liners. I'd probably bring back some of the original cast, but
Nice,
remake that now. It's just the freaking weirdest damn movie I've ever seen. I mean,
dude.
I remember there's a scene where a guy's in the toilet and he's trying to take a shit, and he's panicking because this person beside him is getting infected by this slug that's climbing into his mouth, and
Toilet.
it's just disgusting and really 1980s, like true.
What is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night, and you're here with the Average Boys podcast, and it's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with my boy Michael Betancourt because Brian is taking a mental health day, and Triggs is at work, and he's going to be on his way in a little bit. But I got my boy Michael Betancourt. Michael Betancourt, what is the creeps, or what was that thing you were talking about right now?
Night of the Creeps. I want to say circa 1985, somewhere around there.
What the heck?
Yeah, a comet crash lands in this small suburban town, like most 1980s horror flicks start off with, and it releases slugs, and these slugs infect people and turn them into zombies. And
Isn't that like Sliver?
It's literally, yeah, it's a precursor to Slither, same kind of idea. They said there isn't just one giant mastermind, hive mind kind of creature. They're all just these independent slugs. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's a really cool question. I've always had that because, like, I mean, you know, like reboots and remakes and all that stuff. They're real. What's up, John? Good to see you in the comment section. Everybody else that's out there, thank you guys for tuning in with us. You know what movie has been on my head for a long time that I really, really wish I can get a remake of it? Like, it deserves. What's up, David? What's up, my dude from The Collector? What's up, my boy?
We all know how much you love Pretty Woman, so I'm expecting
Pretty Woman would be a great movie, but not as much. The Last Starfighter.
You know that would be, but we'd have to bring Jeff Bridges in. He'd have to come back for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still alive, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but like, man, dude, The Last Starfighter would be such a great movie. Like, I think that movie was way ahead of its time.
Well, 100%.
Like, it was way ahead.
If that had come out, I want to say 1995 or so, it would have done it.
It had way cooler graphics, man. That last part when it's like spinning, like, dude, even I was telling someone about it when like that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, like that's straight out of in part 2.
Yeah.
They bring that ship that's like the mining ship, and then they bring all the lasers, and then all of a sudden it just starts spinning around, killing all the gold people. I forget the gold people's names, dude, from that movie. I always forget.
Well, I can't even think about them right now either. Jesus.
But like, dude, that reminded me of The Last Starfighter in my head. I was like, man, dude, that would be a really great movie. The Last Starfighter is really good. I mean, we got a really good revisit with Tron, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think
people give hell to Tron's. I guess it's sequel. It's not even a remake. It's 100% a sequel.
Yeah.
But I think it was a great film. It picked up the legacy and it kept running with it.
I think they did a fantastic job. The actor that they chose was good. All the little in betweens, like I mean, yeah, like I can see where like when they brought Finn back or what's his name, Flynn, when they brought Flynn back, and he's like a de-aged dude. I forgot his name. The guy that with Jeff Bridges, right?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, like they de-aged him and it looked just like him, like back in the day. But like that was the whole thing. Is like his character, it's not really supposed to age. It was just mimicked to be him at that moment.
Yeah.
Just made like a really, really solid twin about it. But like straight up, like the Tron revisit continuation sequel was, I thought it was great, dude. I thought, Stargate, man. I was watching Stargate, so I missed the beginnings. LOL. Stargate would be a pretty cool remake too.
I wouldn't want to touch.
Yeah, because you see Stargate.
Yeah. I would like to continue the TV series and the film and all that jazz. But I wouldn't want to touch and remake that thing. And that was the thing.
Adrian, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for tuning in again for this week. Hugh was a fucking badass in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, did they make him like the John Wick of Tron? Like, straight up, dude. Like, I was like, I mean, dude, I remember Q back in the day too, and he was pretty snazzy, but like, yo, they made this guy like a beast. You know what he reminded me of? Like okay, the G.I. Joe movies, like they weren't that great, but like every time Snake Eyes came on, like there was no fucking around. Like they weren't gonna mess that dude up. You know what I mean? Like they weren't gonna mess it up. Man, they did it so good. But yeah, I would like to see a remake because at the ending of that film, you saw that what is it? Q fell. Well, he got. What happened to Q at the end of the movie? Didn't he like sacrifice himself?
I can't even remember at this point. Jesus, sorry guys. I've been having drinks since
this
afternoon, so my brain is a little addled today.
I want to say like he came back to save the kid or like risk himself because Bridges' character was coming after him, and he like jumped in the way to save him. Right? He fights for the users or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then Flynn reemerged.
Adrian got it.
Yeah. Man, dude, that. Fuck, and I know they're doing a remake. If I'm not mistaken, I just heard about it like last month that Tron is getting another sequel coming up.
Yeah, I think Jared Leto's supposed to reprise his character from the sequel as well.
Yeah, was Jared Leto in the sequel?
Yeah, he was. I mean, I remember seeing him in the club scene. I can't remember what his character was. It's been so long since I've watched it.
Because I remember the dude that played the club owner.
Yeah,
the club owner, but that wasn't Jared Leto. That was another dude. That was that guy came out in some other shit. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's always played like some British roles and shit. Tron was the dude in the black. Yeah. I remember that. But straight, man, like Jared Leto has been doing some pretty cool shit in the last couple of years, so it wouldn't be too bad. But Tron would be a good visit. But The Last Starfighter to me is one of those like I really wish they would go back and do a remake. Or Flight of the Navigator.
Oh.
Or The Explorers.
Flight of the Navigator used to scare the living hell out of me when I was a kid. Those things.
Yeah, that was something else.
All
the little creatures and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and mind you, that's because like I used to watch Critters and horror films like that, and those monsters didn't scare me. But as a kid growing up, for some reason, I was horrified of E.T. So, I mean, I guess the cuter things freaked me the hell out.
That's right. There he is. The guy that's the club owner is one of the old
Michael
vampires
Sheen, isn't it?
Twilight. There you go.
It's Michael Sheen, right?
Huh?
It's Michael Sheen, isn't it?
I think so. It's the skinny guy, the one that's like always talking shit, the one that's like, "Hello, chicks or whatever."
I have a horrible disdain
Good Omen.
for Twilight.
From Good Omen. Yeah, you just saw Good Omen.
Yeah, it's Michael Sheen. Yeah.
Michael Sheen, yeah, the guy from Good Omen. You were just telling me about that like off scene when you were like, I caught up on all the Good Omen, and I was like, all right, badass, dude. Or Flight of the Navigators was probably one of the most like, I think, very underrated Disney films back in the day, which didn't get a lot of like prosperity from it. But if they were to remake it, I think the story is very, very intelligent. Like being that he finds a ship and then that ship takes him into the future. Like he's able to transcend time. And when he gets here, like his whole family, like already aged up. So it's almost like, I guess, like the way the snap happens in the Marvel films and everybody comes back from that. And it's like, how do you deal with someone who's been gone for 5 years?
Oh, yeah.
But like, man, that was such a great story, man. Flight of the Navigators, that was a real smart story. And then The Explorers.
I really like to see a return to creature features. You know, these really weird
monsters,
like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Monster Squad would be cool.
Dude,
weird ass monster flicks.
So we knew a couple of years ago with like the Tom Cruise movement into the Mummy and all that stuff that Universal Studios was going to try to make some type of like monster universe. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
What if they would have done like the Monsters universe teaming up and then they have to fight like the adult version of Monster Squad?
Oh,
like all the kids from back in the day.
You know, a part of my fat little heart is hoping that Del Toro gets a hold of this because that rumor's been on there for a while, and he actually makes up like the actual Monster Squad and gets to do that. Man, if Del Toro get a hold of it, it'd be great.
Look at my boy Brian right there in the comment section. Brian, we miss you already, buddy. I want you to make sure you get that rest. But he says, "What's up, you sexy bastards?" I'm going to put it up because I have never had the opportunity to put Brian's comments up in the section. He says, "What's up, you sexy bastards? Sorry I couldn't make it tonight, but Mike is holding it down." R.I.P. to Paul Rubens. Correct, sir. Yep. Pee Wee Herman passed away this past week. There's been a lot of people that passed away this week, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about Who
I
else
mean,
passed
there's a
away?
star from Euphoria that passed at
Yeah,
25 years old.
yeah,
You know, a
25 years
lot of
old.
people have gone this week, and
And then
it's a bit much.
today or yesterday, the guy that played the guy that was in Breaking Bad, that was in the wheelchair, the older gentleman.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he passed away like either yesterday or today. So, man. Now the Goonie. Okay, so John's in the comic section. What's up, Vince? Good to see you too, brother. He says Flight of the Navigators. We called that one out. That's a really pretty good. That's a pretty good remake. Or the Goonies. I think he said the Goonies because the Goodies. I don't think the Goodies is what it is, but the Goonies. I can get behind
unless
that.
he's talking about a girlfriend or something, and he's checking out Goodies. I guess I can go with that. But I would think Goonies would work not as a reboot, but as a continuation. Have a Sean Astin come back. He's the adult now. Now his kids are doing things. Yeah.
Fucking what's his face? Gadget or what's that kid's name? The little kid.
It's Gadget.
He just came back. He's gonna be in fucking Loki season 2. I mean, he's been he's been coming back in a lot of projects. Everything, everywhere, all at once. But you see, but it would be good to see a continuation, though. I think so. I like to see where that's the same thing as like, okay.
I like how Brian's not here today, and today I'm drinking, and today would have been the day to pick the fight.
Yeah, it would have been the day. It would have been the day. Would have been the day for all of us to get together for this. But do you think remakes can sometimes ruin a good thing? Like I want to say like The Sandlot, right? Or like The Goonies. Like those movies are to me are perfect. And I know The Sandlot had continuations.
That a remake will ruin things. I think a remake will kill your nostalgia for a product. Because a remake isn't for us. A remake is for somebody new. Which is I was at an event this past weekend, and we were talking about the new Star Wars films and how everybody sits with them, and they hate the last 3 that came out, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, for me, I understand where everybody sits on it, but those movies aren't for me. Those movies are for me to sit beside my son and him have his experience with it. Want to smoke tonight, Brian?
yeah. Oh, I know. Smoke tonight. Yeah, that's funny, dude. But yeah, we do know that the last Star Wars movies are pretty rough, so we do understand where that idea comes from, where people are like, man, do that continuation. But some things come from it that are good. I mean, if you look at The Mandalorian, if they never went back and revisited Star Wars, we would have never had something like The Mandalorian. I'm excited for Ahsoka, the show.
I think we're all excited for Ahsoka.
Extremely excited for it. Why? Because I've been dying to see what they're going to do with Ezra's character from Rebels, the cartoon, man. Like,
there's just so much wealth of story from Rebels at this point. I mean, on all the returning casts, and it's too much. It's too rich at this standpoint. And
I just heard, I want to say either yesterday or the day before that Donald Glover is going to be writing the series for Lando Calrissian.
Yes,
he's going to be one of the writers, and there's talks that the original Lando actor is going to be coming back in that show too.
I mean,
so it looks like they're going to do like, they're going to do doing flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah, kind of give us the start and then close that story. Because I think Lando deserves an end in the franchise. He deserves that story to finish for us, because he didn't really get it in these last 3 movies at all.
Yeah, and they brought him back in these last films, and they did make him like this really nice, like still living that smuggler life. Yeah. And he was still out there, helping the rebellion, and he's keeping off radar. And even with him keeping off radar, he's still profiting, and he's up there because he had some pull where he was at.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he had some really cool pull. So, and then him coming out later to help Rey fly the Millennium Falcon and all that stuff. Like there's a bunch of cool things that his character had. But there's like a lot of stuff too, like with the expansion of the Star Wars universe. There's always like a lot of people talking about, hey, what about staying away from the Star Wars Skywalker story and building something else? We know Acolytes was a big thought that was coming out recently. I mean, Ahsoka Tano still deals with Anakin's storyline in between, and I just think that there's so much more that they need to kind of like indulge in outside if they want the franchise to keep growing from here on out.
I don't know why Disney won't just shut up and take my money and give me a Rogue Squadron movie already. I need space dogfights, X-Wing pilots, kind of clean up space.
Like a Maverick in space, dude?
100%. I would throw all my dollars at it. I'm a poor Mexican as it is, and they would take my last dollar. I swear.
Man, could you imagine if they brought the directing and writing crew from Maverick to write a really good Rebels?
I'd be down. Shit, let Tom Cruise cameo for all I care.
You're like, fuck, I don't even give a shit, dude. Like, and call him Maverick. I don't give a fuck, man. Just give me what I want already.
Yeah, instead of Muppets in space, it's just Maverick in space. I'd be cool with that. I'd watch it.
I have to ask. We just got a comment section. Robert, good to see you. My dude in the comment section says, "I'm praying to God that it doesn't turn out into a Secret Wars or Secret Invasion, bro. Like seriously, man, Disney better fucking Disney really messed up Marvel." Uh, Mike, I have to ask. Comic book lover to comic book lover, Secret Invasion. Come on, man.
As a
Look,
comic
we
book
know it's gotten
fan,
some heat. We know it's gotten some heat. I want to vibe with it. Like, tell me what you felt. Did you watch it all in one sitting, or did you like watch it every episode individually?
every episode individually. Yeah, I went
Okay, so
old school with
you were
it.
taking it in like us.
Yeah.
So tell me, dude, was there episodes that you liked? Was there certain things you liked about the show? And then, of course, the last episode was kind of like, questionable. But give me a breakdown on Secret Invasion, man.
Honestly, as an MCU fan, I feel like the series dropped the ball in the end. That something else should have happened that we didn't get, and I really don't know what it is, but it left me wanting more. Like it just didn't fulfill the idea of what we got from the comic book. I remember my favorite line in the comic book. I think it's a 7-part series. I think it's issue 6, somewhere around there. The issue right before the last. Thor is standing in Central Park and he's slamming Mjolnir into the floor, and lightning is hitting the ground. And the scrolls show up, and the Queen arrives, the Queen Scroll, and she makes this comment that he loves you. That was the whole thing. All the scrolls would commit murder or whatever, and they would tell that person he loves you.
He loves you.
So in the end, Nick Fury comes up, old school David Hasselhoff Nick Fury before he became Samuel Jackson, and says, "No, who's he?" And the Queen Scroll says, "Well, God." And Nick Fury looks her straight in the eye and says, "Well, my God wields a hammer." And then they go to war. And that was the biggest fuck you kind of a line that I would have liked to have seen mimicked here in the show. This grand end of a secret battle that's changed the outlook and the layout of the Marvel Universe. And we just didn't get that. And I just felt like it was lacking. It was a good show for what they produced. Emilia Clarke did great, with her role for what she could do with it. But it needed something. I'm definitely not going to sit down and rewatch it, kind of a deal. But it's been watched because it was the latest piece of material that needs to be watched so I can continue the story.
So like in your process of taking it all in and stuff like that for seasons, what were like your most memorable parts of the show? Like what were the ones that you really dug? What characters did you really like? I mean, I know a lot of people talk and they're like, I'm one of them. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Like I shit all over that series almost like from every episode. For me, it was, I don't know. I mean, I'll break it down to you. I don't want to dilute your thoughts of it by telling you what I think, but I'll tell you after what I felt. But I'd like to hear like your positives on that show, because of course, like we could shit on it all day, but we know because we were pretty prominent and understanding during the heroes' reign, like how much like the writer's strike and all that stuff can affect a television show the way it did with Heroes back in the day. So we know like when things are kind of falling apart behind the curtains that all that stuff kind of plays a factor. And I don't want to say like that the writers of Marvels just suck when it comes to these shows, which I mean they haven't been doing really good, but I mean they're not bad. I mean they could be worse, but Rotten Tomatoes really thinks they did a really bad job with this. But what I want to know is like
I think a great way to sum it up is I read an IGN article this week where they got to speak to one of the writers in the writer room for X-Men 97, the animated series that's coming out. And he said that he was really disappointed sitting in the writer's room for some of the episodes because the people that were coming in to write were prominent writers in Disney's stable of writers, but they had no respect for the source material. They were there making fun of the original cartoon, the suits, the dialogue, the storylines. And I think that's what happened here for me. There's a lot of cool moments. And if I wasn't a comic book fan, I would like, okay, that was pretty cool to see. Oh, the Super Scroll is awesome, but that is not a Super Scroll. There's all these pieces for the extremist virus and everything else they do to kind of give us this watered down version of things that I should have liked, but it bothered me internally because there was an attempt, but somebody swung for the fences, and all they could do was bunt. To kind of paraphrase baseball here.
True.
They wanted to give us a home run, but the only way to get this fucking thing done was to bunt, run to first base, and let somebody else score, kind of a deal. And I finished it and just don't care, and that's sad. On my end, I usually enjoy the vast bulk of Marvel properties, and I do feel like here we should have gotten more. We at least should have gotten an allusion to other massive alien races. There should have just been more. I don't know how else to describe it. And it does bother me that it doesn't bode well for the rest of the Marvel universe coming out.
I mean, us comic book fans, we kind of went in there, I mean, from the very beginning, understanding that all the assets that Secret Invasion, the comic book, had, there's no way that show was going to be able to do it. In fact, when you probably responded the same way I did when they announced that they were going to do Secret Invasion, and then someone was like, it's going to be a Disney streaming show. And you were like, the fuck it is. Like, how are you going to do Secret Invasion on a television show for 6 episodes? Like, I mean, there's a part in the comic book that the Avengers from the New Age run into the Avengers of like the 90s, and they slam into each other in the middle of
the Savage
Lands.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Elektra or Spider Woman comes up to Tony Stark, and Tony Stark's trying to figure out some type of way to stop the Skrulls or whatever. And she goes, thank you so much. You've done good for your queen. And he turns around and goes, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, you're a Skrull, dude. Like, and he's like, no, I'm not. Fuck, I am. I'm a human, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop him. She goes, no. That's the programming. Like, that's just letting you know, but you've done good. Just chill out. Like, you just chill out in here and do what you need to do or whatever. But
you see,
thank you. You've done good for your queen.
That's the part of the spy story that I think something like Andor did so much better than Secret Invasion did. With Andor, I know we've gone back and forth, you and I. I think I side more with Brian on this one than anything else. That Andor did the spy drama and the self-doubt way better. You weren't sure where everybody sat on the playing field, and pieces are moving in the background. You didn't really get to experience. Here with Secret Invasion, we'll look at John's comment here. He says the series seemed good, then lost its energy, and that's literally the way I felt at the end of this. It kicked off for me. I was, okay, I'm enjoying this. This is good, and then it just kind of petered out. It was almost though like the vehicle lost gas halfway, and there was just no more to go. And I kind of just walked it to the end, and well, shit. All right, it's over. Let's go see the Marvels in November when that comes out.
Well, I kind of think it's like you said, like, when these people are meeting up in the writers' rooms, they don't respect, all the stuff that has been put in front of them, because all of these new age writers and all these new age people think that when they get the opportunity to write, that their ideas are bigger than these ideas that have already been out there. And they don't understand that the reason why people clamor and come behind these is because it already has a fan base based on that story.
Yeah, and I do think that, a geek culture in itself, guys like us will humble the hell out of a writer really damn quick if they don't respect a source material. Like, I can understand changing things to modernize them or to make them popularized. I mean, I've died on my hill for the Thor movies. I stand up there alone saying, I enjoy them for what they are. I'm glad I got that media. But at the same time, at least there was an attempt to give me something I recognize, instead of just, what we got with Secret Invasion, because that was not the Secret Invasion. It wasn't. No,
it wasn't anything even close to it. Adrian says it was 24 and the spy mind games all up to snuff with what would expect from Secret Invasion. What does that mean? I don't understand.
The show 24,
I've seen 24. I like 24.
Yeah, that's not what I would expect from spy drama. That's more thriller. I would say something like The Blacklist would probably be a better example for me for
or Vantage
spy
Point
drama and stuff. Yeah, or Vantage Point would be
like a Vantage Point type of movie.
Yeah.
And 24 does have like its spy stories, but it's very much like 24 is like a television version of the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like every little thing, like he'll be like, okay, cool, like I stopped the bomb, but now the car is going above the speed limit, I got to stop that. And then he stops the car and he's like, now the president's plane's on fire. And then he goes for the next one. It's like always something that he has to like, no, running.
Yeah,
and
there's a driving point every single time.
There's always something going on that's real wild, like out of control stuff all the time. That's the Marvel universe in general. Yes, just didn't.
Basically, yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, I go, look, the comic books are suffering from this like tremendously right now. That there's so many world-ending events that end up getting like written over that it just doesn't even fucking matter anymore.
Oh my god, like the Hellfire Gala thing that just happened.
Yeah, and then right before that, they did the Sinisters thing. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that shit. That was. Did you see the Mr. Sinister story or no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he replaced everyone with a Sinister clone, and then it all got deleted, and it went back to normal. And now Beast has 1 million Wolverines and 1 million versions of himself, and like, there's just so many like world-ending events. And then something goes back and says, "Oh no, it didn't matter anyways. Like we fixed it. Like it was Jean Grey fixed it or whatever, or their brain or sight." It's so horrible, man. And I tell people,
I think like, the only thing that's come out of this latest arc with the X-Men is Kitty Pryde's return to being an assassin level character. I don't know if you saw the last. I don't remember which X-Men book she's in, but Orcus, the organization.
Well, that's the story that's going on right now.
Yeah, they go to kill her because she fell through the portal. She survived the incidents that Moira and all them did in this last Hellfire Gala, but she's pissed, so she starts attacking people, and she goes up to one of the soldiers, and he's like, "No, you have to spare my life. The X-Men spared my life the last time we fought." And she's like, "No, "Oh, that's real sad because now they're all dead." And she takes his gun and phases it into his skull and leaves the barrel in his brain and kills him. And then she murders all the other soldiers there and hides their bodies in the roof. She just phases them into the roof of the building so she can walk away clean. And I've been seeing Kitty do what Wolverine taught her to do was a good return to force, but there's so much convoluted mess. I can't keep track of everything anymore.
Yeah, it's just like there's just so much like just crazy ideas that are just being like shot out there. I think we got Trigger back in the show. Trig's about to hop in with us too. Let's bring in the third brain today. What's up, Triggs? Good to see you, my dude.
Hey, Trig.
What's up? Right now we are talking about all the crazy events that are going on all the time in Marvel and Marvel Comics, and I'm getting Michael's review on Secret Invasion. And we're talking about like, okay, cool. Like we understand as the comic book reader, the awesome, huge ability that Secret Invasion had on the comics and everything that it did and all this stuff. But we went into the show understanding that there was no way that they were going to have all those assets. So
I went into it knowing that they weren't going to have any of it.
They weren't going to have any of that stuff. So
like,
it was a very
like I already knew, like I really managed my expectations when it came to Secret Wars, and it wasn't one of those that like, oh, I'm being a big fucking negative Nancy, and I'm like, no, dude, like they just don't have the things that were in the original Secret Wars that had been in the works longer than the MCU had been around, even years wise. And they had been building up the Secret Wars for fucking 2 decades.
And something interesting that Mike was talking about is what was the film that you said that someone went in there and like they weren't respecting the source material?
Oh, it was one of the writers for X-Men 97, the animated series that's kind of
the animated series.
They're redoing of course the 90s X-Men cartoon, and the writer said with an IGN interview that they were really bothered that the writers in the writing room for Disney were all prominent Disney writers that they brought in to work on this series. But they had no respect for the source material. They were there shitting on the original cartoon, and that there were dumb ideas, and the comic books are for kids, and it's problematic to me. These kind of people are brought in because they are good writers, and I will give them that. They know their field. I work with people that suck just that same way. They know exactly what they're doing on paper, but they have no respect for the type of work you should be doing and the source you're working with. And I think that's what's spitting out the problematic series and films we're getting because people are working, but they don't give a shit.
No, and you don't miss anything. If you don't watch Secret Wars, you're not really missing much going forward in the MCU.
To be fair, like, I really hate to say it, but like outside of the last episode, Secret Wars is really irrelevant.
Yeah, it's super irrelevant, man. But you know what? It didn't have to be that way.
That's the problem. That really is the problem.
But the thing is, like
with WandaVision, you have a story that's really cohesive and still plays into the future of the MCU.
The entire narrative.
Because it's still very open-ended, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with, a Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki obviously being an excellent example.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I mean, fuck, dude, even Miss Marvel. But you get
Yeah,
Secret
Kamala
Wars.
Khan.
Yeah, you get Secret Wars and the ending, and you're kind of like, what the fuck?
Well, Secret Invasion.
This?
Yep.
Yeah, Secret Invasion. You said Secret Wars. Secret. I keep messing them up too.
Right? Why would I ever disrespect that story?
Yeah, dude, I'm so scared for Secret Wars now, even more than anything.
Yeah.
But like the thing is like, I think Mike has a point. Like, if they're doing that for the '97 cartoon, which is already, dude, that's like legendary, dude. Fans that love X-Men and the comic books, like a lot of those new age comic books, they started with the cartoon,
yeah,
and then jumped into it. You know what I mean? Like that got people involved. And then for us to hear that, like, they have a big meeting for the writers that are revamping this show or bringing it back or continuing actually, and they're almost making fun of the thing that we loved, and they're making fun of it because in their minds, again, they think they're better or they write better than that stuff. But I love that stuff. I go back and I can watch those cartoons and still be like, oh man, I dig this.
And I can understand poking fun at holes, like Morph's death in the beginning of the animated series. Morph sacrificed himself to save the one motherfucker on the X-Men
that's immortal.
Die. Yeah, the one dude that cannot die, that could have taken that Sentinel blast. Morph saves him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. He's his friend. There's a hole there, but not respecting the source material, not caring enough.
Oh shit.
About what that series did as a legacy to get everything started. It's ridiculous that there's no point to it. Those people shouldn't be in the room.
Now, Triggs and I talked about this, Mike, last time, and that was right before the final episode came out. We were talking about, okay, what kind of stuff would we look out for the last thing? Like, what do we think is going to happen? Did it come out? Not at all what we wanted. One of the ones was I was just shooting shit in the air, and I thought it would have been funny, giving props to the Man on the Wall and what is it? Original Sin. Is that out of nowhere.
Yeah, and like when you said that, I was like, you're really reaching.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, he makes the phone call, like, we're gonna end this, and the whole time we were like, dude, this can't be it. Like, there's gonna be like big cameo or something, right? But it's gonna be a throwaway because, like, no one's gonna come on this show. And I was literally saying it would have been cool if David Hasselhoff came out as Nick Fury, like the original, the dad, like, you know what I mean, and been like, okay, I've been here the whole time, and we knew the invasion was going on and all that stuff.
Fucking Patrick Swayze.
What did it have to know? But the other thing too is that I think Triggs or Brian had made a good point with this, that the Nick Fury that was actually in the show, it would have been cool if he was at LMD. And he called the real Nick Fury, and on the last episode, you see that fucking like laser beam, and you see him come out with the trench coat and the patch and the hat, which gives you a whole reason why the LMD was more nice, understanding, and very passive, instead of being like the fucking ridiculously hardcore Nick Fury. You know what I mean? And I mean that was the thing. Like I think that there was
aspects if that had happened.
That happened,
because that would have been a lot less disrespectful to the character of Nick Fury,
of course,
than what I got in Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, there were certain and I've said this the whole time we've covered the show, which was I have to pick and choose my scenes in every episode that makes me want to watch the next
watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
to stay connected.
And I had a big problem with that because that shouldn't have to be the case. I shouldn't have to be like, please just give me one scene that will convince me to come back next week.
To stay here, yeah.
And that's horrible. That's trash. Why should I have to want that? Especially from a Marvel fan where I can pick up almost any issue and be immediately engaged.
Yeah, and with that mentality, it's frustrating because my wife and she watches all these series with me. So the vast bulk of time, I'm sitting there, I'm having to explain why this episode should have mattered because of this happened in a book. So I have to pull out, an old TPB somewhere and say, read this instead because this did it better. Read this instead and it'll fill in the hole. Here, let me tell you about this. And I'm pausing the damn thing every 3 minutes because it's just missing something.
I would have to do that. I would have to do that with Audrey because she would ask questions sometimes. Like there were especially when she was like really heavy into the MCU with me at the time, and she would be like, "Hey, so when this part happened and this part happened," and I would kind of be like, it didn't really happen like that. Like in the issues, like this kind of played into this, and this was very, very different. Motivations are totally different in this particular aspect, but like overall, they sprinkled in the right things.
Yeah.
So like obviously phases 1 through 3, I really obviously can't complain about.
Right.
You know, like I'm not gonna sit. I mean, even the duds compared to most.
Yeah, right now compared to what we're getting nowadays.
Yeah,
Jeez,
like
dude.
I'll fucking do lines of all day, dude. I mean, if you told me that I had to watch Secret
World.
Invasion again or Dark World,
Dark World. I'm
yeah,
a
I'll
Thor
watch Dark
fan
World.
again.
Welcome to my fucking hill, guys. You can join me
Yeah.
up here all you want. We'll watch Dark
I'm a
World.
Thor fan again, I guess.
yeah, right. I mean, I get Chris Hemsworth ain't that bad.
Yeah, he ain't
Yeah.
that bad. Kat Dennings is in it. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. Come on, guys.
You know.
No, but like it's super crazy because like we know. Okay, so we got a comment in the comment section from Adrian, and he says, well, he asks, is Secret Invasion a very popular comic? Like in the comics, is it really popular? Like it literally changed. Like that's the thing about comic books back in the day.
It's probably one of the most major events in it. Like at the time, it was probably the most major event that had happened since Civil War.
I'm telling people, man, like all the time, like there was a certain time in comic book and now film history that it was like a good time, like a really good time. Like we were just talking about it where like the comic books right now throw so many life death experiences at the whole world that everyone is just like, whatever the fuck, like I don't even care, kill us, I don't even give a shit. Like you're gonna either you're gonna ultimate fucking universe us, or you're going to bring us all back to life. Either way, it doesn't even matter, just kill us and bring us back. It's like a big sadomasochist world. But like there was a point in time where these comic books were one event would change the entire facet of the surface of the shows, of all the comic books across it. Secret Invasion changed the entire way the comic books were.
At the time it came out, it was hard as shit to find. I remember having to call my a drug dealer, my comic dealer at the time. I was like, dude, I need this issue.
Club,
give me the variants. Yeah, and all that jazz. It was difficult to find. Yeah.
That's super crazy, man. Fucking
what
man.
You got, baby? What you got?
Yeah, basically it's like you got an A, B, and C variant. Okay, let me get all three, man. Let me get all three.
Adrian also asks, hey, what do you think, man? Do you think WandaVision is a good adaptation of House of M?
Oh,
not at all. Not at all.
No.
Fucking, we're looking at Deadpool right now being the better rendition of House of M right now. So that one even sounds even crazier. But
dude, what if it's the Onslaught saga in Deadpool 3?
Dude,
I would cry if I got Onslaught. I would like fuck it.
That's it. That's his
it's
monster.
done.
Right
I'm gonna
there,
watch
man.
anymore. I got what I wanted.
Yeah,
That's
dude. What if that happened, right? Because Logan is in it, right?
Yeah.
We have all of the old
Magneto's coming back. Charles Xavier's coming back.
Fox X-Men coming back. Like, what if that happened, right? Like,
it's supposed to.
It's
supposed to be dealing with the
pure
invasion,
speculation, pure headcanon. But like, oh my god, dude, like, what if we got like an Onslaught, like a funny Onslaught saga?
Man, I shit you not. I'd buy all the damn merchandise. I'd be all over that. Dude. Like, man, yeah, it'd be gross.
Like Ryan Reynolds Onslaught shit. Jesus Christ.
Well, because like Deadpool actually plays like a pertinent part in the Onslaught saga.
Yeah, him and Cable do quite a bit. I mean, Cable takes on the Hulk by himself.
He does things in the Onslaught saga, and he's not just like a character. Like him and Cable, do they go to work, bro?
Oh yeah.
Yo, do you think? Well, he has to, right? Jeff, what's his name? The guy that played Thanos.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. You think he's coming in Deadpool? He's got to be in Deadpool, right? I mean, he's in the Marvel universe.
I don't know if he's been.
He has stated that he's not going to be Cable in Deadpool 3.
Really?
He's come out and said that he's not in the movie.
What if he's going to be Thanos, dude?
Well, he said he's not in the movie, so.
But what if Thanos is? Oh yeah, I mean, fuck. I'm reaching by now. I just want to have that whole like Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet, and he had like his second wish that he did when he was on that little planet was like, fuck Deadpool. I don't want him meeting Mistress Death or whatever. And then when he blows up the fucking stones,
you may as well just have the Thanos copter then.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, why wouldn't you at this point?
You know Ryan Reynolds would put that shit in that movie. You know he would. There's a fucking Fox movie logo in the back of the scene already.
Yep.
Come on, man. The Thanos copter is going to be there. Juan, what's up, Juan? Good to see you in the comment section. My dude, he says, too many agendas trying to come across instead of trying to please too many people instead of them just making a good story. And that was, you know what? That's a really good point. And the reason why I say this is because
we've been saying that.
There's like this weird vibe that I get that the Marvel universe is collapsing on itself. And the reason why is look at how they handled a pretty prominent storyline from the comics that's like super like, this is a very well worth it. This could have been like $1 million movie, easily $1 million film. And the way they handled it, they were just like, 6 episodes, Disney Plus show. Like, I really think that Marvel is on this cusp of being, of collapsing on itself. I really, really do. The way they handle Secret Invasion is like, and then for them to be like, well, it's not our fault. It's your fault. It's not our fault. You guys watching it.
And
reviewing
that's
it
where
and
I think
talking.
we sit right now with the MCU and Disney's management of the projects. It's gaslighting. They're telling us it's not us, it's you. You're the problem. You're not buying it fast enough. You're not subscribing fast enough. So why are we going to try? But they stopped trying at some point because they hit this plateau. And to go back to what Juan said about these agendas, I do think the writer rooms stopped being, let's tell this story, and everybody individually wanting to make a name for themselves. Yeah. And that's problematic. If you're going into a story that requires an entire team to put something together, like an entire television series, it shouldn't be, oh, I want to be the prominent writer. I want to be the standout person. So I'm gonna push this one specific thing. You have to care about the source material.
Yeah. That's a good point. He made a really good point. Juan just put, like, it's not just the MCU though. I saw the worst Star Trek episode ever, a musical, like a real musical, like a musical.
Oh, with New Frontier, yeah,
episode?
they just did it. I haven't watched the episode yet. Yeah. I'm still finishing up Star Trek Discovery, matter of fact. But I'll get there. I'm aware of it.
And then Triggs, there's a lot of people already talking about The Witcher, the second part to the season, talking about how it's like a lot of people aren't really digging it. They didn't like the way that they let Geralt, like the ending scene where it's just like this ambiguous just fight and then that's it. Like fuck off Henry Cavill or whatever. Like it wasn't a good send off for the character. Are you familiar with what I'm saying or no?
Yeah, I do. And because like the ending scene to the second part of the third season is like, there's a huge fight. This thing happens. A lot of people die. And like, Ciri goes off on her thing. Yennefer goes to do her thing, and Geralt is now with some of the members of the Scoia'tael. And so he leaves, right? But like the way that he leaves, and I understand what people mean that it's very anticlimactic. All he does is turn his back and he's walking Roach like away from the shot. That's it, right? That's how you like you last see Geralt, but that's not the last scene of the season. The last scene of the season is actually far more important than people realize, because it ends with Ciri killing her first person, joining like the little band of bandits that she ends up with, and calling herself Falca, which is like the alias that she gives herself when she's with these little band of rascals and stuff like that. And for anyone who's ever played the third game, this is where she's going to get, like, it's going to be in this next series of events that she's going to get her like iconic scar across her face.
Oh, we got 2 comments, and I'm going to let you guys answer this because Mike, you're also a pretty big fan of The Witcher stuff, right?
Oh yeah, read the books, watched the entire series. I understand 100% where people are saying that it was anticlimactic for Geralt, but what Trigger's saying is
how did you dig the second season, first part and second part?
So the second part felt way too damn rushed for what we got. It shouldn't have been 3 damn episodes. I was hoping I
would have given
10 episodes total.
Episodes.
Yeah. If I'd gotten 2 more, maybe 3 more episodes, it'd have been golden. But it just, they crammed it all in. The fight at the tower was just it bothered me that it was just shoved all together. But you know what Trigger's saying 100% is true. If it goes the way that the game goes, then this
Superman
next
is
series is going to
boycott.
be far more prominent for Siri than it is Geralt.
No,
What's up,
even for
JD?
Geralt,
Superman is a Boy
have,
Scout.
you have to you've read the books,
Mhm.
so you know, or you should know, at least in the next series of events, Yennefer and Geralt are going to get back or are going to see each other again. She's going to ward off the hunt, and he's going to join it to save her.
Yeah, and the Great
And
Hunt
then
on
this
Jazz
is where
is
it
very
like
important.
it like
But from
leads
a
back into the first game.
but from a Netflix series standpoint, we 100% know that they're going to focus on Siri and sell that character because we don't got Henry Cavill anymore.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm saying it's going to be far more prominent for her, because it's the only way the series can continue and let people not be that pissed off about Hemsworth taking over.
Mm-hmm. And we got two questions. One, I gotta say, JD comes in and says Superman is a Boy Scout. Well, I mean, not in this show. I mean, Henry Cavill kills in this show. Man. He does real good.
Yeah,
Man, you know what? Before we go on, I just want to say, and I said this last week, and Mike, you weren't here. The last episode of part 1,
no, it's not,
was dude, like was perfect. Was perfect. The one when they're at the ball and it shows like the first part of the ball, and then it goes back and shows like how they did everything in the background and shit. Like that was very intelligent story writing and episode making, man. Like just cinematography all the way through.
I am always going to love what happened. Like I don't, because like this isn't at all accurate to what happens to Tisea, but I love Tisea's character in The Witcher. She is like the fucking lady with class, you know, like she's
is that the one that Yennefer's always talking to? Yeah, I got
the
you.
one who ends up having her hair white, you know, at the end.
Yeah, from all the lightning and everything else.
Yeah, she's the one who's throwing the lightning and stuff like that. Gangster shit, dude.
Gangster shit.
Yeah, and
Like,
I agree with you. The way they handled her character in the series, though it's different, I think did some really solid justice for her as a character, as a person in that specific universe. She's just fucking a badass, 100%.
And
dude, because like she's a hoss, dude. She's a straight hoss, and like there's a reason why Yennefer has a huge amount of
respect for her. You can feel it. Like,
not only is she considered mother to her, but at the same time, I think people forget that she's like the most powerful mage there.
She
knows easily one of the most powerful mages that like Aretuza has currently in its employ. Exactly. But like, because like, I mean, to be completely honest, it's Yennefer. Yennefer is absolutely the most powerful mage like Aretuza has ever produced.
Yeah,
you know, but like she's very, very reserved where she is right now because she's still kind of feeling things out. You also have to remember, Yennefer is like 80 in those events at the moment. She's old. She doesn't look it, but she's old. And Geralt's like 74 or something like that.
Oh shit!
Like these motherfuckers are old.
Well, so I'm gonna ask you guys both this because you guys are both really, really big fans of the series. The question that Adrian asks, because this is important, we understand that Geralt, or how do you say his name? Geralt. He's going to be changed in the next upcoming episodes or next season or whatnot. We understand this because of the leaving of Henry Cavill. But he's asking, because this is probably where the audience gets a little bit confused, isn't he supposed to be the main character? Is Geralt the main character of this story in the books, or does it revolve around someone else?
It depends. In the books, it depends on the story being told, because Geralt is a Witcher, and I think where people make the disconnect is like, oh, Geralt is the Witcher, and he's not the only one. You know, technically, right now, Ciri is considered a Witcher. You know, she's had the training and all that jazz. She's not imbibing of the ocean.
Like, it's one of those things that like they gave her a sword and they were like, "Go forward, be a Witcher."
Yeah, and she like go forth and fuck things up. Basically,
yeah, like sick will do. Yeah. And so like, but she doesn't officially get certain things that like Witchers need until much later on.
Yeah,
and like one of those, like very iconically, being the pendant. You know, like her medallion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she does eventually get her medallion, you know, her her little, shaky medallion, and she's a a school of the wolf, so it will be of a wolf head, and that's kind of like what solidifies you as a witcher, having that pendant outside of like the eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah, learning how to make the tonic and all that jazz to give herself the power and everything. The training, she's an apprentice knight in essence. So to say, there's no Geralt, so there's no Witchers, there's no Witcher show, is inaccurate, because there are and were other Witchers before everything fucking went to hell the last other season. So I mean, it's
almost like Pedro Pascal saying that he would be okay with Katie Sackhoff's character, fucking Bo-Katan. Taking over the main Mandalorian show.
Yeah,
because like
it would be okay, but like it just sucks because that's
not what we want. Yeah. No, and I totally get it. I completely understand why people would have that problem. Mm-hmm. My thing is going to be like, so they're obviously going to have to explore what's going on with Ciri, but I think the biggest thing that, and I think this is the way that they're going to leave the series, is that they're going to leave the series when Geralt joins the Wild Hunt.
Yeah,
I think that's what season 4 is going to be, and it's going to end with him joining the Wild Hunt. Because
we got a good allusion to it this season. We did, yeah.
This will still be Henry Cavill's character, so they're going to change it.
Yeah.
So we understand they're going to change the character, and with the removal of Henry Cavill as the actor, and then bringing in someone else, they'll shoehorn in some idea that like they hit him with a spell and makes him younger or whatnot. They're going to shoehorn it to be where it changes his image or whatnot. They're not just going to recast him and then not say anything about it. And then
Marvel, hopefully.
Please don't. But the thing is like, okay, so you both know that the pathway that they're probably going to take is they're going to probably push Ciri's character and Yennefer's character into the forefront. Maybe like take some of the book stories and give them to Ciri, and then maybe get Yennefer to kind of like adjust and be with the Liam or the new character they're going to bring out as the Witcher, right?
And
do you guys think that the story will lose flavor or will lose following if they put more story-wise into Ciri's character over Geralt's?
Oh, I don't think so at all. Ciri has a shit ton of story just for her. And that's what I think is going to happen. They're not going to change Geralt's story to fit Ciri. They're just going to give us Ciri's story, which I think we all want to see. She looked like a total badass the last episode with her tan, fighting that fight, and the other people telling her, she's playing with him, and the way she took that man apart. You see the wolf that she's been trained to be. It was pretty
nice.
Good.
And it's true because like she really was playing with him. There was absolutely no effort. That wasn't even a low diff, dude. That was a straight no diff fight for her. Like, he got straight jobbed, and it was fucking hilarious. I loved it. Every second of that fight, every swing, she was just like, yeah, dude, whatever. Like,
yeah, and the way the actress handled that character, you could see Geralt's training in her face, because it wasn't, there was no fear there. There was a sadness to her because she knew what she had to do, but she ate him. Like, she tore that man apart. If I saw that woman look at me that way across the fucking bar, I'd leave the damn bar. I'm like, fuck this. I am out. I ain't winning this fight. It's over. She took him apart.
Yeah, I think JD's mentioning that the Ciri costume and the Yennefer costumes are new in the Fortnite the game. They added the character for Ciri's costume with the scar and all that stuff. So they brought in the future, I guess, variation of Ciri's character.
Yeah, he's saying to consider Liam Hemsworth as new DLC for The Witcher.
Oh, is that what he meant? No, that's funny. No, that's crazy. That's good.
I'd be like, all right, dude, I guess.
Are you guys okay? So, and then that goes to Adrian's character. Adrian asks now, do you think those characters have earned a spot in becoming the lead of the show? Have fans enjoyed the rendition of having them in the spotlight?
Oh, Ciri and Yennefer, 100%. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, they've done wonderful.
You kind of have to understand that, like, that Ciri and Yennefer were kind of like they may not have been the absolute prominent protagonist of the stories, but they were protagonists in their own right.
Okay.
And yes, 100% they have. Like, for one, like series like what 14, I think 13 in like that that era.
Yeah, 14 years old, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, and when she meets back up with Geralt again, I think she's in her early 20s. I think she's like 22 or something like that in the third game. So they're gone for 8 years between like those events. Between the first pretty much that point of season 3 and when she sees him again. That it has been 8 years, give or take.
Oh, that reminds me too. JD had put this in the comment section earlier. On adaptions of video games to film, Last of Us was pretty successful. The Witcher
it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The Witcher has been doing pretty good. I know that there's been some, turmoil and whatnot, which brings us to our next part. Boys, did you guys get to catch up on Twisted Metal? I myself still have not seen it. I don't have Peacock, so it's very hard for me to kind of catch it. I've been catching a couple episodes in VR on certain apps with people that are showing them, but I haven't been able to see the whole thing in its entirety. But Triggs, Betancourt, have you guys seen Twisted Metal, the series?
I have not yet, no. Honestly, like I've been so busy this week with my new job and securing a second job that I've really, really been at it.
What about you, Betancourt?
Twisted Metal, I sat down to watch it just because I had a love for the games.
I love how this is going already.
So I sat down to watch it, and I expected fucking nothing from it. I was like, this is going to be horrible. I know it's going to be bad. I'm just going to get through it. One episode, fuck it. And holy shit, that show surprised the living hell out of me. I absolutely loved Twisted Metal. That show did so much respect for every character, gave us more lore for the storyline, subtly introduced things that create the Twisted Metal tournaments as a whole. And I mean, was it Samoa Joe as an actor portraying the physical acting for Sweet Tooth? And then, everything about it was just a fucking home run. Twisted Metal was amazing.
So tell us how the show went, like from the first episode. Was it 10 episodes?
Yeah, total 10 episodes. And honestly,
they're only like 30 minutes long. They're not even that long.
Yeah, I expect crap. I really did. I was like, okay, the cars are going to blow up. There's going to be a couple of sex jokes, some fart jokes, and it'll be over. Yeah, but the series touched so much on each individual character's personal journey and drama and story that's game accurate for the most part. Surprised the living shit out of me. There was points where I was sitting there shouting like, holy shit, that's this character. That has to be this person. And sure enough, it'd be the character I was thinking of. I mean, we got cameos for people from Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal Black. Nice. Like it did a really good job. It really did.
How was Calypso?
Calypso is only mentioned slightly. And if you pay attention to the entire series, there's graffiti everywhere that says Calypso is real. Calypso lives, this in the background. So when you get to the final episode, one of the final episodes, when our John Doe gets to New Chicago to pick up this magic delivery he has to pick up, they speak to Calypso on the voice box. And he is as crazy and as horrifying as he was in that game, alluding to things that he shouldn't know, that somehow he knows about you, offering you these special things, hoping and wishing that all your dreams come true. It was such a really good way to honor that character without force feeding us a shitty Calypso in season 1. So now I want a season 2 so I can see who the hell Calypso is. What is it really going to show me? What type of magic does he have to make all my dreams come true? Because in the games he has these supernatural abilities that always have this weird monkey paw kind of a turnaround. The dreams he gives you and the wishes he makes come true are always ass backwards and detrimental. They hurt you. So I'm psyched to see what all that is.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, it's really, really good. I think
you've probably given it the best review that I've seen, probably so far. For Twisted Metal.
But everybody's been saying it's super good, though.
See, and I've seen the adverse. I've seen a lot of people shit on it, dude.
Yeah, no, really? And it's a weird mix because I'm with Trigger. I went into this with knowledge that this was going to suck. I'd read reviews and I was like, shit, this is going to be horrible. But you know what? I loved the game. It was fun to play. I remember Sweet Tooth and that goofy ass laugh when you shoot his napalm cones. Like I remember that stuff. So okay, we're gonna watch this thing. And it surprised the shit out of me. You know, the reviews for the most part. I mean, the critics' reviews obviously they were gonna hate it massively so. But you know, Stephanie Beatrice and Anthony Mackie, they carry the fucking series. They do a great job with their interplay together and how their chemistry is the entire show. You know, he said Samoa Joe does a wonderful job portraying the physicality of Sweet Tooth and makes that big motherfucker scary. Like as a goofy ass character as he should be, that dude is horrifying. You know, we get Thomas Hayden Church in as one of our sheriff characters and agents, Stone, and he's an evil son of a bitch. You know, the show did a good job for giving me what I thought was going to be utter crap, and I think that's what set it so high for me. So I thought this was going to be bad. 100% trigger. I went into this thing like, man, I'm going to hate this, but I'm going to watch one episode, and I demolished half that series in one sitting.
Yeah, I've done that with several mediums, several shows, animes, different things where I'm like, this is gonna fucking suck, dude. Let's do it. And like I get into it and you're like,
are you surprised?
You're now like putting your hands in and you're kind of like, does this? Am I wanting this to suck? Is that why I'm mad?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna watch the next episode. You have one more episode to convince me.
That was me in Bloodhounds, dude.
You know it, dude. It's 4 a.m. and you're like, fuck, man.
Yeah, like I'm 5 episodes deep and now I gotta finish it.
Yeah.
I was a couple of weeks ago, I went like on a Netflix binge just to try to see if I could find something worth the shit to watch. And I found this random like Korean film called Bloodhounds. And I watched one episode and I was like, fuck, this is good. God damn it.
Dude,
and I came on the show and I was like, yo, Triggs, Brian, you need to watch this shit. And Brian, Triggs, you got to watch it, right?
So you hadn't said anything yet. You had like mentioned it off camera that you had been watching it, and I was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
but
it was like, whatever,
other people had been like saying shit about it, and I was like, you know what, dude? I've actually been hearing people fucking praise this. You know what? Let me see what the fuck is up. So I watched one episode of Bloodhounds, and I was like, this fucking slaps.
It was fucking slapped the shit out of me, dude. It was so fucking good, man.
Yeah, I was like, I did not expect it to be that good because, like, to be fair, and nothing against Chris because I love Chris to death, but he like
I like shitty movies,
down
man.
With like High and Low and thinks that those are the best.
High and Low is so good, cinema, bro.
That like Martin Scorsese should be like the fucking EP of like High and Low and shit or some shit. So
dude,
I'm like,
so
okay,
good.
Yeah,
but, but the old school High and Lows are kind of weird. The new ones are the ones that are good, dude. But Bloodhounds was fairly well, man.
Yes,
it was really good.
But it's such a compelling story that you can't stop.
Yeah,
you haven't seen that what's happening right now. We're getting these big budget stories. Going back to what we're talking about with Disney and all that shit. We're getting these big budget stories that are supposed to be good and they're sucking. But we get these sleeper hits. Like I'm gonna stand on this hill. The Twisted Metal surprised the living shit out of me. I didn't think it was gonna be as good. There was a point where the writing shouldn't have been as good for the scene it was in. We have Granny. I can't remember, but she's a prominent character from one of the Twisted Metal games. Also, she's sitting and she's dying, and she looks at that quiet Stephanie Beatrice character and says, "The only thing more important than food, water, and porno is time." And I was like, that is the most bullshit line, but that line fucking like it hit me. It's like, dude. Yeah, what the hell?
Who wrote this, James Gunn or what?
Yeah, the story caught me. It pulled me in, and I stayed there. I mean, of course, it gives you nostalgia pieces where you recognize cars and vehicles and how they're being formed. As you're going around meeting these other people, you start seeing, like, I think Adrian or somebody mentions the nuclear missile semi truck. The semi truck and the convoys make an appearance. You get to see those trucks. So you see a lot of things that are from the games, and if you're a player, you remember these things.
Now, Adrian also mentions Kingdom is a good Korean zombie show.
Oh, Kingdom is wonderful.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah.
There's also a period piece called Kingdom. That's a Korean.
There's like Japanese 3 Kingdoms on Netflix already.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
They're all actually pretty good. You're not gonna miss. You'll swing at a Kingdom and get a good show.
You can watch any one of them.
One of the Kingdoms, if you watch them, like they're all good, dude. But they're not all the same though. They're not all the same show. There's literally a manga called Kingdom, and they turned it into a live action, and it's pretty fucking good. It's very Dynasty Warriors. It's very Dynasty Warriors. I do recommend it. I just saw part 1 and 2 yesterday, or the day last week, and they were like fucking fantastic, dude.
Yeah, and the kingdom that I watched on Netflix was I think China or Japan or somebody invaded one or the other. Sorry, Japan, I think, invaded Korea, and they released this zombie virus.
Yeah, that's Kingdom. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that people, for some reason the zombies are real slow and all that jazz. And then when things heat up, they start moving fast. Man, the entire damn series was great. Holy shit.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Asian films right now, they're about to pop off real crazy. They're about to pop off real crazy.
I don't want to say they're about to. Honestly, I think the first one that really caught my eye was Train to Busan. And from there, I've been in love with, all the horror films that come out of South Korea right now.
Yeah. For me, I really have to say what caught my eye, I think, with Asian cinema would have to have been the Rurouni Kenshin movies.
Oh, the live action films?
Yeah, the live action Rurouni Kenshin movies. And then after that, there's one called Re:Zero, right? And the guy who plays the main character, he's like a very, very prominent Japanese actor. His name's like Takahashi something. And it's a fucking amazing movie. Like, it is so good.
And Re:Zero is an anime adaptation also, right? Or a manga adaptation?
Re:Zero is it's a mech movie or a mech TV show. But I don't think it's the same one.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah,
it's about an assassin who like just stops being an assassin one day. Yeah. He's just like, I'm bored, and then just leaves.
Do you know, Mike, you know that one samurai actor that Margaret like just loves the shit out of?
Yeah, I can't remember his name to save my life.
Yeah, he's the one that does like the 100 million versus 1 movies, and like he does that one with Nicolas Cage, where like Nicolas Cage is like wearing like a Gantz outfit and he's got to go save a girl like a stupid Japanese like.
It's called Reborn. My bad. R-E. It's called Reborn. My bad.
Reborn.
Yeah, it's R-E like born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Adrian's out here speaking my language. Shin Godzilla and all the Shin series are phenomenal.
Bro, you know what I saw yesterday? Shin Kamen Rider.
Yeah, Amazon Prime has it to watch
on Netflix, and it is bonkers as fuck, dude. It hits the ground running. Like as soon as it started, there's a dude with a spider helmet on. Kamen Rider shows up and just starts skull fucking like all of these dudes, like just blood everywhere.
Well, people forget that although it's technically a Super Sentai series, Kamen Rider doesn't fuck around. That's an adult ass show. He will wreck shit. Yeah,
dude,
it's on the same level of Guyver from the 90s. Like, that's a fucking
Guyver movies, dude. Fucking David Hayter, bro.
Yeah, bro. Guyver?
Yeah. When people are like, bro, if you guys get a chance, like, you need to fucking see Shin Kamen Rider. What's up, Ever? Good to see you in the comment section. My dude says, The Witcher, awesome game to show transfer. Did you get the second part too? You got to let me know what you thought of the second part. I really, really want to know. But seriously, there's a part in the Shin Kamen Rider fucking part where like he punches a dude, the stunt guy flies, and like just a guy with a bucket of blood just like throws it. Dude, it's so dumb. I was like, this is wild as fuck, man.
But that's what that series is, and I think that's the attraction for me, anyways. The over the top ridiculous of it all. And then yeah, like Adrian says, Hideaki Anno does a wonderful job with this series and giving us a modernization that still has enough love for where this started. And it just keeps the story going. I mean, everything in the Shin series is great. Shin Ultraman was wonderful. Shin Godzilla is a masterpiece for me anyways. So, I totally agree.
There's a fucking scene where there's like a bat villain and he's fighting this just villain that's just a bat in a suit, like a dude with a suit with a bat face or whatever. And he's hanging from the roof and he's flying and the Kamen Rider comes in and takes his helmet off and he goes, you know what the greatest killing disease and epidemics? And I was like, bro, it's a bat telling us about an epidemic. It's too soon, man. Way too soon, Kamen Rider guy. Way too soon. Bat talking about epidemics and COVID.
Says the guy that lives and breathes The Last of Us, talking about fucking fungus coming and killing us all. Because that wasn't too soon for shit.
Breathing in epidemics all day, dude. Just a bat being like, you want a bite, sir? Like, I was like, God damn it, man. it was a wildest shit. I'd never seen something like that in a long time, man. So it was kind of like it was a
Put fucking respect in Pedro Pascal's name.
yeah,
dude.
it was a fucking good time. It was a super good time. Okay, guys,
Fucking
I'm gonna have to
Pascal,
ask. I'm gonna
dude.
ask you. I'm gonna ask you, and this is going into conversation stuff. So we're taking a little jump. We're still talking about comic book stuff, but DC's been in a weird situation, right? DC has been in a super weird situation the last couple of years. Blue Beetle is coming out, and it's expected to not do really well in the box office. That's what they're already like. They're already claiming it's not going to do well. I think they're doing it just to kind of prep and get ready studio wise, in case it doesn't do. I think it's going to do all right. I think people are just going to go watch it just to watch it. But then again, we heard also that James Gunn said that Blue Beetle as a character will be in his universe, but this story that's going on is not canon in his story. Did you hear about this?
I didn't hear about that, but I did hear that James Gunn said that Blue Beetle is going to be a character in his series. Yeah.
Triggs, did you hear about that anywhere?
I have, but like I'm not gonna say like exact words, but like what he's more alluding to is that like this movie is going to take place after the events of Superman, whatever the fuck is about to happen.
Okay.
That's the way I understood it. I could very well be wrong, but the way that he was making it sound as if, like, yes, Blue Beetle is a part of the DCU, but it's not the first movie in the
Yes.
DCU. I took that as the events of Blue Beetle take place after whatever happens in Superman.
I
mean,
okay.
we had to leave enough space for George Lopez to come in as Booster Gold, take over for James Gunn.
Oh God, please don't even start. George Lopez is Booster Gold. Please, God, don't do this to me. Do not do this to me. So that was the thing. I had heard that recently, and it kind of like tripped me out. But I guess like understanding it that way makes a lot more sense.
Because
honestly, of course they're going to release.
Yeah, I don't think this film's going to fail. On what I'm predicting is the Cobra Kai fans and the general audience are going to go see it because of what they expect from a martial arts film and that lead actor. They've loved him for all 4 seasons or whatever it's been for Cobra Kai at this point. So I think that audience is going to follow through and go watch him, and they're going to get a little bit of the Latino market as well. People are going to go for representation. So this movie will make money. Is it going to be a supreme? If
I was Xolo Maridueña, I would ask for a huge paycheck. I would be like, I just want to let you know my fan base is what saved your fucking movie.
100%.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I mean, a lot of people talked about it with the Namor character too. That there was a lot of people that weren't behind it, and dude, the Hispanic culture was all up on that, man. Everybody was going wild for that character for a bit. Like, it was up there. Just for him being, just an introduced Hispanic character, which wasn't even a Hispanic character to begin with.
Give him props for still saying Imperius Rex at the end of that.
Yeah, in Spanish.
Yep.
He says it in Spanish. I didn't even know there was a fucking translation for that. But yeah, I guess there is, dude. Shit, fuck it. I am educated today. The reason why I say this is because of the fact that we do know that James Gunn's coming in. Him and Peter Safran are doing their business. There's gonna be a whole revamp of stuff. But recently, literally yesterday, there was an interview on comicbooks.com where Gal Gadot, the existing Wonder Woman actress, came out and said that she has been in talks with James Gunn and Peter Safran that they're all going to be developing a Wonder Woman 3 movie together. We understand this is supposed to be a reboot, and there's characters that are just not going to be involved. That's up in the air for, of course, Ezra Miller's Flash character that a lot of people do not care for, and then a lot of people want because they think the Flash is the best character. That's the cut between. Aquaman, we still have Aquaman Part 2 coming out soon.
Didn't they just go back into reshoots for Aquaman 2? I mean,
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did a lot of reshoots, man.
They went back and then stopped.
So, and then they stopped right during the writer's block. The writer's strike
during SAG. During that
wow. But that's the thing, like, okay, so like we had an understanding, and I think the census had an understanding that with James Gunn and Peter Safran coming in, changing up the landscape of the DCU, that we were kind of going past the idea that we weren't going to be using existing assets from the Snyderverse. We thought it was going to be a masterful reboot just a big turning of the pace, that there were these movies that were left over and they were just going to leave it as is. But with Gal Gadot coming in and talking about her in talks for Wonder Woman 3, that kind of makes it a little bit confusing. What do you guys think about this?
Why the fuck reboot at all?
For my take on it, watching the interview and all that, she's pretty masterful with her PR swing. She's
good.
She's spinning everything to make it sound like she's there. But my theory is she's in development, and maybe she's an executive producer, maybe she's in the writer's room or something. But we will get a new Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Or maybe she's, maybe she's the new Queen of Themyscira. What's Wonder Woman's mother's name? I can't remember her name to save my life right now.
Hera?
No, that's not Hera. It's
the Queen of Themyscira. Oh my gosh, she's the older Wonder Woman in the JSA. I'm sorry. I've had too many whiskey and cokes, and I can't remember her name anymore.
It's okay.
I'm catching up to you. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm on the way.
But honestly, I think that's what we're going to get. That's and I may be 100% wrong, and Gal Gadot does stick around, and she's just a leader for the JSA as they come out.
Yeah, it's Hippolyta, right?
Hippolyta, there you go.
Yeah. Triggs, what about you, man? What do you think about this?
Why the fuck reboot in the first place?
Well, I mean, it's
we have to get rid of Wonder Woman 83, 100%. That's what it is.
It's because half of the characters are getting cut out anyways.
What do you mean half? Only one's gone.
No, Ben Affleck. You have Henry Cavill. That's already 2 parts of the Ray Fisher's gone.
Okay, half. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty much half. Yeah,
half of Justice League is fucking gone. Yeah.
Let's just give it fucking.
All right, fine. We're gonna call a spade half. Fine. But like, why the fuck reboot?
I don't know.
Ray Fisher never got his standalone. Ben Affleck never got a standalone. Henry Cavill only had one, and they scrapped him. So like, Ben Affleck never even got to direct his. Ray Fisher was just like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here." And
y'all racist.
Yeah, y'all racist. Stop leaving, you're a bitch. And like, he bounced. So like, I mean, like, yes, it's half on paper, but is it really?
But that's not even in the fact if they keep Ezra Miller, because that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are talking about, like, Ezra Miller does not deserve to come back, but it's not their call. Yeah,
I know it's not. But the like, what I'm flabbergasted, dumbfounded, and just insulted at the fact that these fucking directors are like, yeah, we never had any plans on recasting him ever. And
he was 100% in.
I was like, are you guys on fucking drugs?
Yeah, they were like, no, Ezra Miller's not a bad guy. He just has a better KDA than all of us.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Are you guys in Nexium or something like that? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
he just has a better kill-death ratio and fucking this first person of life shooter that was going on.
No
I
shit.
fucking guess, dude.
And my big problem with it is for even like a fraction of what he's done, you could not get rehired at fucking McDonald's, much less pull a multi-million-dollar production and be okay with it. I don't understand who his family is or what pool he has with Warner Brothers PR, but he should not be there anymore.
Dude, Hunter Biden is getting a worse fucking sentence than Ezra.
100%. Even President Biden said, sorry, he's on his own. Like, I'm not going to fucking excuse him from it.
Hunter fucking Biden is getting a harsher sentence than Ezra Miller. Let that sink in. The president's son is getting a harsher sentence.
Yeah, and mind you, it's the whole drug thing, right? That he's getting hit with, and then of course the bribery. Didn't George Bush Jr. come out and like he snorted a half of Texas worth of fucking cocaine, and he did I don't know what with the Hussein family. I mean, at this point, shit.
I think it's just wild, man, because I mean, Ezra Miller is a fiend. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone and their mother was like, it's not like he was hiding this shit. And then for them to be so egotistical for the producer of the film to be like, guys, his acting is so good, you're going to forget all the bad stuff he did. I'm like, for fuck not. I mean, all of Hawaii is not going to forget. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to this day, I still want to know if that movie sold in Hawaii. To this day, I still want to know if the Flash did good in Hawaii.
Like, honestly, we know where I stand. I really feel like, oh, fuck, who's that fucking actor, in Horrible Bosses, the fuck you will, that guy, in Ozarks or some shit like that. You're gonna forget all about it. The fuck I will.
Yeah, my favorite meme from that is, I'm gonna go running, and it says, "My knees, the fuck you
Yeah,
will."
the fuck
Yeah.
you will. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
so
just
that's
nuts,
why
man.
I'm like, the fuck I will. Like, fuck that.
But you know what? Like I've told people before, like, look, with the
I
release of
love Problem
Shazam
Child.
2, and Shazam 2 wasn't very great,
I still
like
haven't
at
seen it.
all.
I
Yeah,
still haven't
you're
seen
not missing much. I mean,
it. I know.
it's kind of like it's a good kid film. I really think it's a good kid film.
I think I'm gonna get drunk and probably just watch it right now.
You know, and Trigger, I think that's the best, because that's the way I watched it. I had a few drinks, I sat down and watched it, and for kid film, Jason Bateman. Yeah,
Jason
for a
Bateman.
kid film, it's good. And as a D&D medieval fantasy nerd, the fights that I got from there with all the mythology and stuff, loved it. But it's not a good DC movie. It's what it is.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Nothing. It tells no story that we didn't know was going to happen already. It kind of, I think, undermines a lot of the building the first film did. But as it being enjoyable, it's fun to watch.
What I think my biggest problem with Shazam 2 was that you didn't even really get fan service. Like, if you're not going to deliver a good story, giving us some nostalgia, all right?
You know what? The only part,
and let that be its defining trait, right? Well, at least it was nostalgic.
The only thing nostalgic I got out of the Shazam 2 film was, of course, they bring in the original actor of Billy Batson, the older gentleman, in one of the scenes, which was kind of cool. The actor for Billy Batson, not the guy who played Shazam, the fucking kid, right? The only other thing that I got was shout out to that Zachary Levi guy. He literally did the lips the whole time, like the old anime or the old comic book, where he has that
stiff upper lip.
Dude, he did it the whole movie, dude. The whole movie, he knew it. And I was like, good on you, buddy. It doesn't really do well, but good on you.
He's straight up stiff upper lips, T poses, the whole 9 yards.
He did, and dude, the whole time. Other than that, the only other thing that I thought was really, really fucking cool was in the final sequence of him fighting the dragon, which is like one of the last fight scenes.
Yeah,
there's some really great cinematography done that looks very much like a wallpaper, like of your computer. Like, there's scenes where he like floats up and he has the staff and like the lightning crackles and shit, and it looks like it looks fucking gorgeous, like Chronicles gorgeous. Like, it looks gorgeous. Like, there's just some parts that look really, really well done. Other than that, it's silly as fuck. Like, it's just
we do have to give some respect and put some respect on her for Helen Mirren for acting the hell out of her part for what she had. Anyways,
I heard about Helen Mirren for the first time in Red, and I have loved everything she has done since I've heard
the older actress. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I don't know her name, but she did an amazing job.
She's a beautiful woman to this day, man. I remember watching some of her 70s movies when I used to work at Blockbuster Video. Oddly enough, we had a shit ton of them. I know she's wonderful as an actress. Yeah.
Yo, straight up, I 100%. You could tell me this, and I probably would believe the fuck out of it. You could tell me she did all her own stunts, and I'd probably believe it at her age. Like, she just looked amazing in everything that she did. She looked like she did all her stunts in that. Cooter Soup instructions. What's up, Wrong Hole Rick? That's my boy right there, Wrong Hole Rick. He comes in all the time with a badass nickname, dude. Screen names. That's the man right there. Lucy Liu was pretty cool. The young actress that played, she was going to be Snow White, but she was the young of the sisters. She did all right too. Well, everybody did a pretty good job, man. It's just the story was like, it was the same thing from part one.
It was, I mean, I think Adrian said it, or somebody said it, that it was inconsequential. That's where we are with
it didn't
my
matter.
column with Shazam too, that everything that happened had no stakes. It just didn't matter at all.
You know what my biggest problem with the Shazam story was, Triggs? You'll probably remember me saying this back in the day.
Sure.
I think the fact that they gave everyone the same powers and had them all on screen was like the shittiest idea. Like,
at first I would have disagreed with you, because I would have been like, no, the fucking power of family, power of friendship, blah blah blah. But like, and I'm like, no, it's a Shazam
really
movie.
bad.
It's not the Shazam family. It's not the fucking Power of Seven or whatever. No, it's Shazam.
And I kept telling people, I was like, can you imagine if they would have done the Shazam with the family versus The Rock as fucking Black, it would have been stupid to watch like 8 people flying around doing Superman shit all the same way. It would have been dumb. It would have been fucking dumb.
Honestly, no, I would have fucked with it, but it would have cost them like Endgame's budget to do shit.
But it's not the Vultramites, because if it were Vultramites, I'd watch the fuck out of that.
You know, I think if we had gotten that movie, if Black Adam had gone up against the entire Shazam family, I think that would have been a beat 'em up, drag out, where Black Adam stole all the powers like he does in the comic, and he's approaching some weird end game that we're unaware of.
It would have been the fast Superman.
Yeah, it would have been Fast and the Furious with them.
And then Superman flies in and tries to help, and it's just
exactly,
28
dude.
dudes.
Wonder Woman just
power,
like,
dude.
Man, and talking about Fast and Furious, guys, fuck all you guys for making you watch Fast X. What the hell did I watch? Jesus Christ!
I didn't make you do shit.
I didn't even watch it yet. I haven't watched it.
Fast X is such a great story.
You got pulled into that shit.
Nothing mattered. Like I went in and I didn't know anything was going on aside from vroom vroom cars, explosion, and it's all about family. That's all I knew.
Wait, Mike, what was the last Fast and the Furious movie you saw?
Fucking Tokyo Drift. That was the last one, dude.
Yeah, he missed fucking Fast like 4 through 10, dude. And he's like, "Fuck it, I guess I'll go watch this one." Seeing a car go down a dam and go up a dam, go into space, fucking, get whips and take 2 helicopters down.
Literally, after I finished this movie, I think I put it in Discord. Like, what the fuck did I watch?
Hashtag family, dude.
I honestly can totally believe that someday there's going to be a Jurassic World and Fast and Furious Dino Riders crossover, because that's where the fuck it's going.
At this point, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, dude.
And
I like fucking Cooter Soup is like Tokyo Drift is the best Fast and the Furious. You know what's the best Fast and the Furious line was? "What's up, Mark? You new in the house? What's up, big dude?"
Hey, by the way, Mark, hit me up on the DMs, man. I am actually back in town.
Yeah, Triggs is back in town.
So yeah, man, I'm definitely able and ready to come on the podcast, brother.
Yeah. Okay, so the best line for Fast and the Furious 10 was not in a Fast and the Furious movie at all. It was actually in Die Hard, which is the fucking scene where the dude from Jeepers Creepers is in the car with Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis hits like a turnpike thing and smashes into a helicopter.
Oh yeah, we took a.
And he goes, "Did you just take out a helicopter with a car?" And Bruce Willis looks at him and goes, "I ran out of bullets." That is the best Fast and the Furious line for part 10 when he smashes the 2 helicopters together. I was like, bro, I can't handle this. I can't do this.
Dude, I don't know about Fast and the Furious franchise as a whole. Maybe I don't have enough testosterone anymore. My old asses can't do it. But goddamn, dude, that was something. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And
they should just give everybody a shot of Everclear right before you walk into the theater, dude.
Yeah, like I need an EpiPen to get adrenaline straight to the heart just to get the hard on necessary to watch that fucking movie.
Yeah, that's wild. Look, Triggs is thinking about it. He has Everclear in the back. Look, he's thinking about the Everclear.
I mean, I do, but still, like.
You're like, I don't know, man. Live free, die hard. There you go. Live free, die hard. No, but I have to ask. Live free, die hard. I fucking love those movies, dude. I love those fucking movies, dude. Back in the day, those are the best, dude. Yeah, shout out to Bruce Willis. I hope he's doing great. I know he's going through his thing, but fucking, I'm gonna miss that guy.
Literally losing his voice, like he's losing the ability to speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that guy. I really am. So
I
actually
watched all the Die Hard movies. I want to say a month ago, just like out of like remembrance for
Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Vince always comes in with like the best drinking comments, dude. He's like Fast and Furious with Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, okay, all right, I'll do it.
I'm waiting for the animated adaptation of Fast and Furious and My Little Pony Friendship is fucking magic, because that's all it's left.
Transformers, dude.
I don't know
bro.
Transformers.
What if they gave Fast and the Furious an actual anime, and it's literally just like fucking Transformers and like just like shifting cars, and they're actually doing shit like that, and just
Fast and the Furious would make more sense
through helicopters and surviving.
Fast and the Furious right now would make more sense if, like, in the next movie, Vin Diesel's just standing in a cliffside, and then all of a sudden his car changes and he turns around and he's like a fucking Autobot, and he's like, "We've been here all this time, Vin Diesel," or whatever, and he's like, "Whoa, this makes a lot of sense."
And then Vin Diesel gets recruited by G.I. Joe, and he's in the roadblock.
Dude.
Yeah, fucking just pay us. We'll write the shit out of this.
Why does that make more sense than the actual fucking
The actual
franchise?
fucking story, right?
I'm telling you, I
Charlize
know what the
Theron
hell I
actually
want.
works
That
with
makes
Barbie.
more sense than anything that has been given to me. The past
Charlize
3
Theron,
fucking movies,
her
dude.
character is a Barbie, but Barbie's like an assassin group. Barbie is a like a what is it? Like an
No.
yeah, an acronym
We have
for
to,
something
we have to
that's
stay
like
within the same brand. So she's not a Barbie. She's codename Polly Pocket or fucking
yes,
something.
dude, or something like that, right? Make it all based on that. Oh man, dude. And then I had heard something that blew my fucking mind. And someone was like, "What if in the next movie of Fast and the Furious, like one of the roads is just completely orange, and it's all just a prequel to Hot Wheels, dude?" And I was like, well, fuck, I wouldn't say no, dude. I mean, they're gonna hit a gap. There's gonna be going through dinosaur mouths.
Why not make it yellow, dude, for the fucking yellow brick road? And,
Yeah,
you know,
it's a fucking big
if
loop,
you
dude.
went to go see Fast X in theaters, there's no way you can say no to a goddamn Hot Wheels movie. There's just not. You better fucking be there for IMAX and shit at that point.
Yo, can you imagine?
Like
can you imagine?
Oppenheimer,
Because the thing is a lot of people Oppenheimer, dude. Can you imagine that Vin Diesel throughout all this time when he first came out working with Street Sharks, like actually bought the rights to be a part of making the movies for Hot Wheels, and this has just been a ploy for this has been Hot Wheels all along. Like this has just been Hot Wheels. That would be like
I'd watch it after sitting through Fast X. Like, nothing else.
Dude, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you.
It was you fucking pesky kids. Yeah, fucking Jason Momoa comes out and he's like, "Yo, check out my super loop," and he turns around. It's just a big orange loop road, and he's like, "We're gonna hit that right now," and everybody's like, fucking going around the loop and shit. Man, dude, that would make that movie so much. I mean, I would watch the fuck out of all of them if they said it was Hot Wheels. If they said it was Hot Wheels, I'd watch the fuck out of it.
Dude, you know, and for like the old anime manga watchers, dude.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Alita Battle Angel 2 is actually like in consideration for production?
I'm about that live, dude. Robert Rodriguez did an amazing job with the first film. Dude. He did like almost like an adaptation to the original.
Oh yeah, no, like it is like next to Rurouni Kenshin, probably one of the truer adaptations.
And honestly, the casting for that was superb. They did such a good job with casting and the storytelling. It was damn good.
And you know what? Shout out to all the guys in the Valley that actually went up and actually were in the film. They were part of the crowd during the rollerball scene. Yeah, they filmed that up in Austin.
That's what made me think of it. You know, the rollerball and the fucking roller coaster derby, fucking. Orange, and that was yellow brick road, whatever the fuck.
And that was really cool because like the rollerball stuff is explained really well in the comic or in the manga, but it's not really pushed too much in the anime. So if you watch the anime adaptation of Battle Angel Alita, like there's not really much on the rollerball stuff. It's more on her doing like the Astro Boy story of the boyfriend trying to make it up to like the Astro City and being accepted and being part of the higher class and her just being this fucking hoss, dude. But what do you think is going to happen in part 2? Is it going to be like, I think it's going to be more cyberpunk Blade Runner, man.
You know, honestly, Rodriguez is.
Well, that's kind of where like the manga goes.
Yeah, I think Rodriguez will stay close to the source material and give us a solid story. He hasn't failed us yet.
Oh, man, it's so good. Okay, Adrian says part 1 was kind of lacking the renaissance of impact from consuming the entire story, so I'm glad they're completing it. I mean, yeah, dude. See, Barbie, the acronym. What does it mean, though? It's got to have a cool ass acronym.
Battalion of Italians. That's fucking great, dude. Thank you, fucking
Babe Assassin Recon. But okay, I didn't see that. That makes a lot of fucking sense.
So now we're gonna get, instead of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's Agents of Barbie. I'd fuck with it. Yeah,
I'm about that life, dude.
Not even
just Barbie.
Just Barbie.
Just Barbie. Yeah, and still in pink, dude.
And like Ken is the overlord of the whole thing, dude.
He's the guy on the seat, dude, with the metal hand and the cat, dude.
Kinetic, like engineered, like neurotics or some shit.
So he wouldn't even be the overlord. He's like their mass. He's their Jarvis, basically. He's their computer system. That's what I'm seeing. We'd write the fuck out of this. Why aren't we writing the stamp series?
Right, dude?
Yeah. They don't pay us enough, man. We're on strike, remember?
Yeah, we're on strike.
I know. Good on Writers Guild of America. Us three.
Way off the radars, dude. Yo, so okay, but let me ask you guys, going back to our point, are you guys excited to see Gal Gadot reprise her role as Wonder Woman? Would that be something you'd still be about? Because, dude, I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Gal
I love
Gadot
Gal
is a
Gadot.
fucking phenomenal actress, and I will die on that hill. She is a
Yep.
phenomenal actress. I think she has really, really come a very, very long way from her fucking rap videos that she used to be a part of and her
Fast and the
modeling days.
Furious.
You know, yeah, and her Fast and the Furious. And she's starting to take on, like, I'm not going to say more serious roles because all of her roles are still all action oriented. But if we got one more good Wonder Woman, I'll shut up.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
shut
true.
up.
Yeah, because
honestly, for me, I would prefer her to take on a different DC role than Wonder Woman. Just because there's a lot of characters that I think that she could do justice to and give
Okay.
Wonder Woman off to somebody new. Because I mean, if you look at films that she's done, like Red Notice with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds, she has some great comedic timing. She's great physicality. She acts the shit out of all her roles. And I think Wonder Woman right now, with the way it's been written, especially after the second one, is too pigeonholed for her.
Okay. But at the same time, like Brian, you're supposed to be having a day off, Brian. Go back to sleep, man. But that's the thing. Like Brian says, 0 chance she comes back. But she literally came out in an interview and was like, "Yeah, man, me and Peter and Gunn, like we just hang out. We're talking about." But then again, you know, we do know that the Wonder Woman story that they are going to be producing is a prequel to the understanding of what, like the world of the Amazonas is like. So more than likely, Gal Gadot as an actress probably isn't going to be reprising her role as Wonder Woman in that sense. Not in that one. They may even bring back the little kid who played her.
Ana de Armas as maybe not Diana Prince, but Donna Troy, maybe.
I would like Ana de Armas to be Hawk Girl. I think she'd fucking knock the shit out
Hawk
of that.
Girl. Hawk Girl would be badass.
Nah, no.
You don't think so?
I honestly, I'm really gonna say Donna
Power
Troy.
Girl.
Donna Troy? Okay, I can see Donna Troy.
Donna Troy could work. I mean, she could literally play anybody because she's like in that in between part. She's not like older. She could play a very she could play a very like a older woman or you know a younger woman at the same time. Like she has that baby face. So
yeah, I honestly think that where she's playing, she's telling us that she's producing it. She's a part of it. She's in development, and she's going to be an executive producer or she's a writer or something. Or some type of creative lead, but I don't think she's our new Wonder Woman. I think we're gonna get a new casting, and Gunn's gonna run us around like idiots because that's what he's a master at, and we're just gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, true. I mean, I'm still excited to see. I'm gonna.
I like how Brian said that he didn't want heat today, but he's throwing out the fucking heat.
Never gonna chance. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, it was an interesting thing to say in an article because of the fact that we know that a lot of people are being replaced in the DC universe. So to see that all kind of come fruition is kind of weird. But I'm excited. If they use Gal Gadot, I hope she stays. She's an amazing actress herself. She does fairly well, and she's done an amazing role as Wonder Woman. Part 2 wasn't very great, but that's because of the writing, not the character. Yeah. Her herself, I'd love to see her come back. So we'll see where it goes.
The casting news I want to hear and I want to see, and I know it's a long ass shot, is that they are going to just scrap Aquaman 2 because it's a fucking loss at this point, and recast Aquaman and make Jason Momoa Lobo. That's what I want to fucking see. Like I think Momoa would be a great Lobo for the DC universe.
Yeah, I mean,
implement him for at least another 5 years. He's already like pushing 40. So he'll be 45 by the time he plays Lobo. And that means it's either he's going to be a one-off character or he's going to be playing it for several
times.
Yeah, because I think Ron Perlman, as an example, shows us that doesn't matter. I mean, he was Hellboy way longer than he probably should have been Hellboy and still did a good job with it. Momoa's as Lobo would just look old as shit, which Lobo, for the most part in the comic books, looks rough and old and just
really have to say this though. I understand your logic, but I have to say Ron Perlman is way less of an attraction than Jason Momoa is.
I'll give you that. All right.
He's kind of like, I will almost take anything I can get like as an actor, as opposed to Jason Momoa and is like, what do you all want me in?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but
that's my only stipulation between those two comparisons. I know what you mean, and I agree with it up to a point. Because yes, Ron Perlman was like one of his 60s during his first like Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in his early 50s, like early 60s for the first Hellboy. And, and he was pushing like 65 when he did the second Hellboy.
Yeah, but look at Robert Downey Jr. When he jumped into the role of Iron Man, he was 43. You know, you look at Chris Hemsworth right now, he's 40 right now, and he still looks amazing.
He started playing Thor when he was
he was like 29.
Yeah, he's like 29. Very different.
Yeah, but even right now, you look at him, and he's still in phenomenal shape, dude.
Oh yeah, no, phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. If anyone's seen Extraction 2, you could see.
My favorite part where he protects himself from the fucking ladder, right?
Yeah, Jesus my favorite part is when he protects himself with the ladder from a fucking Gatling gun. That was the best part in that whole movie, dude. Fucking fantastic, dude.
I like see that and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
I saw it and I was just like,
any of the times I've ever been shot at, I would just hide behind the ladder.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I would do. I would have done the same thing and been killed. I would have gotten killed so fast in that show. I would have been like, God, thank God for this gapped fucking metal sticks.
Thank God for the fire escape ladder that I can get through.
No, but
it's like it's like every fucking show that like ever. Speaking of fire escapes, like they could never hit. They're always hitting something else.
Everything else, yeah,
yeah.
That's super funny, dude. But yeah, that was.
Anyway, on to our next topic.
Yeah. Well, guys, we did have a release of Loki season 2, the trailer. Did you guys get to watch it?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to watch it here, but I don't want to. I want to say we're kind of running out of time. I don't want to take everybody's time up. But what did you guys think? Are you guys excited for it?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I have alcohol. I'm good. So.
No, I mean, just in case. I mean, it's 10:40, so I don't want to take too much time, and it's it's 2 minutes, 30 minutes. It's all right. But
don't do that, Vince. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Fucking Fast and Furious. I'm telling you, man. He asks the drinking questions, dude. Fast and Furious crossover with Dune. So
I can already hear Vin Diesel. It's all about family and spice.
Yeah, and spice. Yeah.
Yep. And this fucking.
So you guys got to see the Loki 2 trailer. What did you guys think of it? And everyone excited for it?
I'm excited to all shit for it. That's going to be wonderful.
Even after Secret Wars. Like even after Secret Invasion, that's the kind of thing that I'm scared of, man.
Honestly, man, like I know what you mean because there's a lot of season 2s that really have the winds knocked out of its sails, and it just doesn't deliver the same way that season 1 did. But I really think that they're going to give a lot more attention to Loki's story of season 2 than they were Secret Invasion because. All of the writers were basically told, don't fucking watch it. Don't read it. It's nothing to do with this fucking comic book.
Jeez,
nothing.
Man.
With
Can you imagine going into the writers?
It's a 100% completely original story. And if they're going to give me that, then they've very rarely missed.
Yeah. Can you imagine being in the writer's room and, for Secret Invasion and then being like, yeah, don't read this. Here's a bunch of crazy shit about fucking things that take everybody's appearances and just do whatever you want.
No, dude, for me, it's that one meme where it's like, oh, like, what should we do? We're like, oh, we should do this. We should do this. And then it's like, the one guy in the back who has like the most practical answer and gets thrown out of
thrown out the window and shit. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, but so what do you guys think? Like, what do you guys have in mind for Loki season 2? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in that trailer. A lot of stuff.
I have a feeling that Owen Wilson's character, Mobius, is going to be a far more prominent character this season.
Okay.
Yeah,
and what do you think? What do you think's going to happen?
Prominent character. The way it left us with season 1. I wanted more of him. We got emotionally connected, and it changed by the end of it. I mean, I guess spoilers alert. You haven't watched Loki, but the way it left
on
us.
You at this point, that's on you. It's been years.
Yeah. So I mean, the way it leaves it with the memory change, the universe changing, all that jazz. I want that story to finish. I want the fucking jet ski ending. I need that damn thing.
Yeah. It looks like from the trailers that they're putting a lot of love and effort into this show. Like it looks like a lot of the attention that Marvel was like, "Hey guys, we can't fuck this one up. Like, we need you guys to read the stories and really care."
Isn't that shitty when you think
That is
about
very
it?
shitty. That is extremely shitty,
that
dude.
like
That there's
that's
favoritism. There's favoritism. There's fucking favoritism. Yeah, that
like,
I think it's horrible. I was
isn't
just thinking
that
about that the
fucking
other day.
shitty though, dude? Like that we actually like even comic book fans like we're actually seeing that. We're like, bro, there's clear nepotism here. And that's
It's
fucking
fucking crazy, dude.
atrocious, dude.
And then that's the thing is like then these people come out and they complain that when people review them and say they're bad, you know, it's our fault because we're not the ones paying attention correctly and all this stuff. And they're literally
love
picking
Rob's
and choosing. They're literally trying to pick like which ones want to be successful.
Yeah.
Like they're literally picking that. And you could see just in the trailer alone that the production value for Loki season 2 blows the fucking lid off of like a bunch of these past episodes of everything that's come out. The fucking CG on just him glitching out looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. The set designs fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? And then you go back and you're like, all right, cool.
Like even without the CGI in there or VFX in there, the cinematography alone is already miles ahead of Secret Invasion.
Yep.
And
so
that's
you guys...
that's the unfortunate thing. And you know what? Like I always bash you, Chris, for being, you know, like
stickler
for being so fucking stickler about the continuity, right?
Yep.
But like this is one of those where it's like, you know what, dude, like you had a perfectly good story that you could have easily changed and adapted very much like how Civil War was and given equally a great story, but you chose to not do any of that and spit in the faces of the fucking people who gave you that story in the first place.
Talking about that, if they had just done a fraction of the comic over Secret Invasion and we had gotten the Wasp's ending from Secret Invasion, the comic, in this series, it would have made Quantumania so much more important to me.
Yeah.
Like, if she had went up in, I don't know, I guess I don't fuck up the readers, but it's been years, you know, in that tornado, you know, there was them trying to absorb the power and this bomb and this massive Earth-sized threat that she saves a day. And if we had gotten that in this series, fuck, it would have fixed a lot of the problems I had with, you know, like me saying Quantumania was a Fantastic Four story, not a Ant-Man story for me. It just, I needed something else that Secret Invasion just did not give me.
I mean, that's a good question. I would almost say CWDC shows.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a lie, man. It's so crazy because like Wrong Hole Rick, Cooter Soup Instructions says they've done veered so far from the source material that there's no reason to start now.
I know, and that's what my fucking problem is. And I've always gone into the MCU knowing that they weren't ever going to stick with the continuity, but they had an original story that they were drawing from, right? Where they went with that was kind of like, okay, like give some creative, creative flexibility, but, like keep the essence of the original story there because they did that all through fucking phase 1 through 3.
Yeah. And you can feel it. There was a plan. There was a plan.
And you know what? If it fucking worked for 13 years, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it.
True.
Stop.
And you see, like my biggest thing was with Secret Invasion, for them going so far away from the source material, I think it's just way too late in the game for them to do stuff like that with a big story like Secret Wars coming up. You know what I mean? Like Secret Wars is like the one.
I'm not expecting anything from Secret Wars, and you know what? And that's so shitty to say because I mean, Chris, you know how much I love.
Yeah, I know you love that story.
Yeah,
and we've talked about it before a million times. Where it's like we know that it was very. I mean, it's not. I can't even say that because I can't give them that credit anymore. It hasn't been recent that Marvel got the mutants back. Like it's been more than enough the time for them to shoehorn the mutants into the storylines. And instead of them shoehorning in the characters correctly, they were just like, well, fuck it. Let's do Kamala Khan's character. Let's make her the first mutant. And it's like, bro, come on. Like
I would have to disagree with you on that, brother.
Yeah. What did he say? What did he say? I knew it was fucked around Civil War, but Civil War was a hard story to pull off to begin with. They didn't have all the assets, so they didn't have all the chess pieces to be able to pull it off.
But they still delivered a story.
They delivered something that was good and interesting.
That still had the essence of what Civil War was about.
Yeah.
They kept some key characters that were already within the MCU continuity, and they worked within those boundaries.
Yep.
That's like asking Gordon Ramsay to fucking make a cake with, yeast, flour, frosting, and milk. Make it happen.
They needed to, because there really isn't anything else that you could do with Captain America's character. Like, there's no other stories that he already did. Bucky and all that other stuff. Like the Bucky character, like
I'd have to disagree there. There's the Nomad story. There's a lot of things that could have been done with the
we got the Nomad story. We did get the Nomad story. We got it in Infinity.
But and like the Nomad story, for what it's worth, like it's just him like going against the government, going against the man, and trying to kind of spread his wings, which he got a really great story in Endgame and Infinity War with that, when he goes up against Thunderbolt Ross. Like him speaking out his mind and his truth. And then not only that, the Winter Soldier, like that by far was probably one of the best like tellings of Captain America from Avengers, the first one, when he finds out that Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. are making weapons with the Tesseract and all the stuff that Hydra was doing, that there was something that was wrong with the government. So we did get that moment when he did rebel. And I mean, yeah, technically they didn't call him Nomad. But then again, like I wouldn't want to see him in a giant V-neck to his belly button either. You know what I mean? Like,
you know how many women would have gone to that movie to see Chris Evans?
Nomad's costume, right, like during Original Sin, was fucking sick. Like when he takes back, like right before he takes back his Captain America suit, like it was very reminiscent to the Infinity War suit.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the original one back in like the 80s had like this big old V-neck. His chest was all exposed and he had his muscles all ripply out and stuff. Yeah. He's just showing off all the good stuff, I guess, man. But
Arnold, he's trying to be Arnold, so fuck him, whatever. Like all I'm saying is that, like, even though Vince is right, yes, like it is a Captain America story, but still nonetheless, like Civil War was an Avengers story. Yeah. It was truly a Marvel, continuity blend, and it was fucking fantastic. Like anyone who reads Civil War right now is in for a treat.
Yeah, you'll read. Yeah, if anything that Marvel has done with the movies in the last 10 years, it has made the writers of the old comic books look like fucking Shakespeare. Like they literally made these guys look like fucking geniuses, because whatever they wrote nowadays sucks, like compared to what those comic books were. Those comic books are like masterpieces.
And Jonathan Hickman, I mean, I swear to God, dude, that guy is just dude, he could fucking art on a page and I will think it's the best thing I've ever read.
That's a good way to put it. That's a real good way to put it. So I got to ask you guys then. I have to ask you, with what we got, with what we got left and what we know that's on the cutting block for whatever Marvel has, what's left for Marvel? Like, we understand Secret Wars is like the do all end all story. After that, sky's the limit. But what do they have left? I mean, what arcs can they really use right now that could literally be like, hey guys, you know what? We fucked up this last phase. We need to fix this. I don't know if you guys heard, but we got the casting kind of for the Fantastic Four this past week. And I was like, I didn't even care after Secret Invasion. Like, I was just like, who the fuck cares? What are they going to do? They're going to start a fucking comida, a restaurant, or what? Like, what is the Fantastic Four got left? Like, they don't got anybody. They used all their assets completely. Literally, Quantumania should have been Fantastic Four. So Kang's already out.
I very much see Galactus or Annihilus.
Who cares? We already got the Celestials.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The fact that Galactus brings back, and I know everyone's going to hate me for this, is going to bring back the need for Eternals, which brings back, like Kit Harington's Amity Blade,
the Black Order
and blah, blah, blah. But I really, really have to say, Siege. Give us Siege.
Okay.
I don't think they're ready for Siege.
I don't.
Man,
but how do they even pull off Siege?
Yeah, they're fucking man. No,
But we could do it. Yeah, but Siege can be done in the exact same way that Civil War was.
So let me ask you: would you want it to be okay? Because what makes Siege cool is all the out of this world shit, which is like Asgard literally floating above like some Wisconsin or whatever the fuck. And right now it's, it's pretty good, like in the Nordic area of Iceland or whatever, just chilling out, having its thing. Like if anybody goes to war out there, it's cool. No one lives out there.
Well, no, because I'm seeing what Trigger's saying, and technically, we could get the exact same storyline from the Siege setup, where Thor's trying to bring back all the dead. We have Lady Sif that's gone, Heimdall's gone, all the main characters, and Thor resurrects Asgard at Broxton, Ohio or Oklahoma, wherever the hell it is.
Yeah, I forgot. It was just some fucking Iowa or whatever. Slipknot made a movie talking about it.
It's Oklahoma. And he can literally resurrect the city the same way, use his power to bring back the dead from Valhalla. And we could get the female Loki storyline. We could get, him going to, and which was my favorite part of that entire run of Thor, where he goes to New Orleans and it's after the hurricane's gone through and Katrina's destroyed everything, and he's on the bridge.
Sylvie, which now ties in the Loki series.
Yeah,
for something, and we could get a somewhat coherent Siege story. Because now we already know that.
Man, Trigger, you're an asshole for making me totally agree with you. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Do we have all the assets for it?
100%. We have all the assets. We have enough. We even have Sylvie, who could be the female Loki, basically.
Well, you don't have a whole ass Harry Osborn or Norman Osborn.
But we have Thunderbolt Ross.
But we have Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah.
Which one?
We have Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah, we have Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt
Ross can do it.
What Harrison Ford, right? Harrison Ford.
Yep.
Hell yeah, fucking Indiana Jones himself.
It could work, and although we don't have a Sentry, in essence, we would have the Red Hulk.
Well, Thunderbolts.
We have Gaia.
In the Thunderbolts, we're supposed to be getting. Well, in the Thunderbolts, we're supposed to be getting Sentry. Apparently, that's the rumor. Is he's which I don't understand how the fuck like. What's the fucking Suicide Squad gonna do to Superman?
Like substantiated. Like that's like saying I'm gonna piss in 3 days. No shit.
It's wild. I mean, the thing is like, man, Siege though, man. Like Thor's
Robert makes a point here, and this is what I said about on Facebook when you asked the question earlier today. Robert's saying the only way I see this happening is if Deadpool 3 does the whole reboot restart. And I'm telling you, all we have to do like that. is have the Shi'ar introduce the M'Kraan crystal and have that fucker break, and we get the Age of Apocalypse. And we have a big bad. We have
how are you going to
introduce?
But how are you going to do that in between this and Secret Wars? That's a lot to do in between Secret. And that's the thing. Like Secret Wars is like
to happen in between. I think we need Deadpool to introduce all that bullshit that exists, and then Secret Wars lead into it.
Okay.
Headcanon. What if Deadpool 3 leads into Time Runs Out?
I mean, I can see that. Well, I mean, the thing is like everything's supposed to time out, right?
Granted, this is pure speculation.
This is an incursion,
nothing to go on. This is me, like, at this point, this is me just wanting it to happen. But what if we got Deadpool 3 not only to introduce the mutants, but to lead into Time Runs Out? Because there has been so much cross between everything. That's where the incursions truly start.
Yeah.
So we have our Time Runs Out, right? Time Runs Out is Kang Dynasty. It's not called Time Runs Out. It's called Kang Dynasty. Kang Dynasty leads right into Secret Wars. Boom, we have Secret Wars. Fucking Phase 7, whatever the fuck. Boom.
Yeah, and
well, I mean, Adrian.
What Adrian's saying, people don't know these characters. It makes a good point, but that's what makes these stories so rich, because you can cast new people and tell those stories new.
It's true. Like I said, this was all headcanon, pure speculation. At this point, it's just me wanting it to happen.
Yeah.
You know, only because like I would love to see that happen, but I'm not at all going to expect that. Like, I very much see Kang Dynasty being an actual Kang Dynasty story where we're going to have Ramatut, we're going to have the Silver Centurion, we're going to have, you know, like, Nathaniel Richards from fucking 3026 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know, blah blah blah. Right? At this point, you fucking just introduced the Umbrella Academy. Whatever. You know,
just get them all in there
with the
fucking
Thundercats,
scene, dude.
Yeah,
bring the Thundercats.
So, yeah, exactly, dude. But
you know, if we're gonna reach for storyline connections to Kang, I really want the Kang Dynasty to introduce Ramatut going back in time to kill Insabanor, to kill Apocalypse.
Which could very well happen in the Deadpool story.
Yeah,
that could very, very well be an aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, we can see that because it's basically been stated. It's basically like Deadpool 3 is the Spider-Man No Way Home of Marvel right now, where you could almost surmise the entire fucking plot by the leaks that they've given us.
Yeah.
You know, because like at this point, it's just like, okay, this is how you're going to introduce mutants. No, we're thinking about introducing mutants at this point. No, okay, whatever. Yeah, you're introducing mutants. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, you know, we kind of gave you a little bit with Kamala Khan. Yeah, okay, whatever. You're introducing mutants with Deadpool 3. Thanks.
But the thing is like with the situation, we talked about it earlier with like the Fantastic Four coming in, right? They're gonna shoehorn in Galactus. And Galactus is supposed to be this like giant character in space that destroys planets. But we just got introduced to like 5 Celestials. And then we know that inside our planet, there happens to be one growing out of the Atlantic Ocean.
What if Galactus? Yeah, but what if Galactus wants to kill it?
Wants to eat him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Or take its essence or some shit like that. And that's the motivation for
like he eats some like eggs or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like embryonic planets.
Let's remember, like Galactus, although the joke is that he takes a bite of the damn planet, you know, he doesn't eat the fucking planet. He drains all the energy and primordial fuel from the planet, which is why he has all that fucking machinery that comes with him. So Christopher Combs is a herald. That's people know their planet has been chosen, and then these tubes and machinery come and attack the planet, and he just drains the power. So the Celestial being unborn could quite have been a beacon to Galactus. That there's energy there that needs to be taken.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a while back when we saw the Eternals film, that we thought that would be an interesting idea. But that was before we knew that there was like a certain several years that the Marvel was like, yeah, we're gonna do the Secret Wars and all that stuff in the next 6 years, and we're not gonna do a whole 10-year phase again. We remember that, right?
Yeah.
When right after Endgame, they made a claim that they were like, dude, we're going to do another phase, but it's not going to be 10 years. And here we are like 13 years later, and now there's another break, and the movie's Secret War is not going to come out for another 2026. And now they're like, hey, guys, guess what? We're going to bring in the Fantastic Four. And I think the reason why that's happening is because they know they cannot have Secret Wars without Doctor Doom. Like, I think they just know it. You cannot have a coherent, good secret Wars story without the Fantastic Four nor Doctor Doom in it. Like, I mean,
what format would it keeps bringing up with Franklin Richards and Valeria, right? Valeria.
I would
need Doom to exist with those two.
Personally, I would keep them away.
The kids, I'm good without. Yeah, the kids that deserves its own story because of the way Franklin Richards, he's too big of a character. Same thing with Valeria. But how do you not
Fantastic Four number 3 or some shit like that? Cool. You guys like fucked in the first one. Your second one is like fucking Sue Storm in a weird pregnancy that she's trying to go through, and like I don't know, Galactus wants to be a fuckhead again, or
wants to be an uncle.
And then that's how like Richard Rider is introduced. Or Sam Alexander, boom, we have Nova. Third one, boom, we finally get fucking Franklin Richards, and he's like 6 or whatever. You know, boom, there you go. You have 10 years of fucking, you know, Fantastic Four.
Then we get Onslaught. There,
but you see, but they don't want to do.
Give me Onslaught and Deadpool 3.
but they don't want to, like that. That's the problem with the films is like, I think we talked about this before, where we knew and we felt after Secret Wars, the Marvel universe was going to reboot itself. Like once all that's done, because that's going to be them saying, hey, you know what? After Secret Wars, the Battle World situation, once everything's put back to order, consolidated universe, everything's back together, mutants, Avengers, and all this stuff. But it's fucking 20 years, 25 years down the road with all the same actors. Like none of them are going to be the same age. I mean, I don't know if they're waiting for like Wanda's kids to age up so they can put them in the movies, but like all the older actors are not going to be able to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So like you're going to have to recast them. And it wasn't even like just like a couple of days ago, the creator of the Arrowverse and the DC universe from CW was like, the Marvel universe needs to be rebooted already. Like it needs to be rebooted. And I know Secret Wars and Battle World is a perfect time for it to be rebooted. Perfect time. Perfect opportunity. But the thing is like they've clamored so fast at getting, it's like Cooter said earlier, they shouldn't have made Civil War. And I understand where he's coming from because they didn't have a way to do it. And I mean, we understand that the assets weren't there. Secret Invasion, no assets. Thor Ragnarok, they used the assets for Thor instead of using it for the Hulk because we didn't have the Hulk. There's so many things that had to be like pushed and all this stuff. If the stories get rebooted and then they have all of this material they can remake, like, do we really want that?
Cooter, actually, it's 1999.
999.
Yeah. That is the designation for the MCU.
Yeah.
That's kind of been established through Beyond the Verse or whatever the fuck.
And you shout out to Imani, the actress that plays.
Yeah, Imani. Yeah.
For fucking standing her ground against Kevin Feige and saying you are wrong. It's 1999-999.
But that goes to show you that the guy who literally makes these movies.
Dude, and you know what?
Shout out to that little kid.
I'll whatever the fuck she wants in the MCU, I'll give it to her.
Yeah, she knows her shit. She's one of us. Yeah,
she's a fan. She's a fan.
She's the Henry Cavill of the MCU right now. And you know
she's
what?
Going to be replaced, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So she's going to get replaced. Yeah. Because she literally had to say that to the original, the main dude that runs the whole show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, right now he's running the comics. Like he's more involved with the comics than he is.
Adrian has brought something to my mind right now. What if? Okay, so he goes off. What if they write it so that Franklin shows up after Phase 4 and snaps his fingers to reboot the MCU? What if all this is just the Heroes Reborn storyline waiting to happen?
Stop it! Stop that! Don't put that evil on us.
I could die then. I could just die then because I'm not going to stay around for that crap, man. Like I'm not going to stay. Like why do all of this nonsense to be like that wasn't even the real one, guys? Poof, reset. No, like if they're going to reboot it, like reboot it and just say, hey guys, this is going to be the next 10 years of the perfect Marvel universe, the way we really wanted it. And we're sorry for all this stupid shit we did the first time around.
No, dude, because you can't even say that. You can't say that.
I know
because Phase 1 through 3 was fucking beautiful.
Phenomenal, man.
Yeah. So I will no, you can't say that. You cannot say that.
That's the thing. Like
no,
I mean, what are you
wrong. No, absolutely.
So what would you want them to do?
If a PR person said that to me, I would slap them and fire them. Get out of my fucking office.
As a PR person, I've been slapped and fired. So I
see that happening. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I survived after.
Yeah. So, like I said, dude, I would have to say no, don't do that, because you know what? You had something beautiful. You gave the audience something amazing, and you know what? You turned on a new demographic and brand new comic readers with Phase 1 through 3. 4 was a letdown. Let's call a spade. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, and Trigger's right. If the first 3 phases hadn't happened, Marvel would have lost in bankruptcy. We wouldn't have lost a lot of the Marvel Universe comics or MCU at all.
Yep.
Yeah. And Marvel's Ultimates wouldn't be coming back. That's the truth. It would not be coming back.
Yeah, which I picked up issue 1 of Ultimate Invasion, and it was pretty fucking good. I think it issue 2.
I haven't read it. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's on point. Yeah.
Okay.
So then
the maker's a fucking monster, as he should be.
So then with what Trigger is saying, I have one more part of the conversation that I want to ask both of you. Do you guys really truly believe that a reboot is what's needed after Secret Wars? Or do you think like definitive end, this is where we lay out our boots? If we return to it later on in life, fine, but this is the Marvel Universe.
I would go with the latter.
See.
I don't want it to be that, because you know what, like, this is going to be the introduction to several careers, and I think it would be, well, I'm not going to say a disservice or a slap in the face, but I think there's more potential in this than people, and even you and I, are giving it credit for sometimes. But I really, really think that this could be something good, and only because I keep my faith in Marvel. You know, Marvel, yes, has let me down. Marvel has gone in stupid directions, but they've come right back. And I have to keep the faith, you know, that blind faith of you know, like, these stories can be saved. This world can be saved. And you know, like, and not to get into like some like metaphysical, you know, like way of thinking, but you know, like, these stories are about rise and falls, and why not give that to the MCU? Why not have that faith in the MCU? Right now it's fallen, let it get back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with Trigger partially, and was what Cristel Rodriguez is saying in chat, that it doesn't need to be a full reboot. I do think it needs to be a recasting. That we not to recasting actors.
I agree with you up to a point, because Riri Williams, Iman Vellani, you know, Florence Pugh, these actors are still very young. They still
let me explain where my frame of thought's going here. So not a recasting as actors playing characters, but a recasting of our heroes lineup. So instead of Thor, we get Thunderstrike. You know, instead of, you know, Captain America, we get to see maybe a new Bucky or something. Someone take their place in instead of being in the forefront. You know, Riri being in there instead of Iron Man. You know, we get, you know, Kid Hulk and the Young Avengers kind of a deal. You know, was it Hulk when he goes by? You know,
we have Scar, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, Scar. Yeah, Scar. Yeah, whoever that fucking cameo was in the She-Hulk story.
We got Scar, so that's a thing. So.
I do think that's what needs to happen. It needs to be not a reboot, but a recasting of just the characters we focus on.
What you mean is a reshuffle.
Yeah, reshuffle, 100%.
Yeah, I think, and I agree with that, because that's where it's going to anyway. It's already leaning to that, you know. And I have to say, like, you know, it's I'm not going to say it's now needed more than ever, but we're already here. May as well just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. Me personally, I don't know where I sit, man, because of the fact that we have shit. By the time they're done with this, it's going to be like 23 years of Marvel.
2030?
Yeah, 20 fucking 30. Yeah, geez, I'm gonna almost be dead, man. We have a lot of years of this franchise being in film, and the thing is, we have our comics, and that's the problem. Is I've always compared them to the comics, and leaving the MCU as is, as much as it has. That's cool. Like, maybe this whole entire storytelling aspect right now was just literally just the Avengers part of the comics. You know what I mean? Like the Avengers storytelling, all of these stories. So maybe Marvel takes the next 10 years just to save the mutant side of the world. You know what I mean? With a little bit of like seasoning of the Avengers in them, but concentrate on nothing but just the X-Men stories, and then leading on to like the Onslaught story, or the 8-day Juggernaut story, or Fear itself, or something where it consists of, or Age of Apocalypse. You know what I mean? Like, just do like an Age of Apocalypse phase of Marvel Universe. You know what I mean?
Instead I would love Fear itself. Like,
you know what I mean? There's something about it that's like
Fear itself would be gorgeous to watch. Holy crap!
Like just an opportunity honestly, to have like another path.
Fear itself more than I do Siege.
Because the thing that we've all been clamoring at the idea of is like, okay, cool. Well, they need to find a way to reboot it and bring all the fucking mutants in, and it's like, well, you can't. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be gone. Chris Evans is gone. Chris Helmsworth is almost out. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson's not coming back because you know what I mean? Like, so those people aren't going to be able to come in if they shoehorn back in the mutants. It's only going to be for like a special appearance kind of thing. But if they were to say, hey, you know what? After Secret Wars, they consolidate everybody, do all this stuff. Now we have a world and there's mutants in it. Now let's concentrate. We've told all the Avengers side and everybody that's connected to the Avengers. Now let's spend the next 10 years doing a mutants Avengers MCU world. Connected still in the same universe, but just concentrating on just the mutant kind and everything they deal with. They can start with like the mutant the X-Men, the school back in the day, the mutants, the X-Men team by itself. Then it can jump into with that the Dark Phoenix story. Then after that, it can jump into the House of M story, knocking out a lot of them, and then them surviving that be their big Infinity War, and then them come back and then have the onslaught with Magneto after the House of M, have them consolidate that into a story, and it be the onslaught, bringing in this masterful character of just sheer madness from the mind of Charles Xavier and Magneto, arguing with each other, and then that break into the whole at the very end Age of Apocalypse story. Apocalypse comes back, says he's going to conquer the world, and that be their Thanos. You know what I mean? One of those can be their version of Thanos, but you concentrate on just that part of the world, and there you go, man. I don't think you have to reboot the whole storyline, because you're not going to be able to. Can you imagine if they rebooted it and then brought all the characters back and then did Civil War the way they were supposed to? Like, that would be cool, but like, fuck, dude, like, poor guys. Robert Downey Jr. at 60. Yeah,
I would take it as a straight slap in the face. I'd have been like, dude, my Civil War was fine the first time.
Yeah, like, I mean, even if we didn't get what we wanted, it was still good. Even if
I got exactly what I wanted. I got a good story, and I
go
got
with what Trigger's was saying about
what I was given.
Siege and Fear itself, and all these other storylines. I mean, hell, we have the Phalanx saga that we can go into. The Marauders for the mutants. We got so many things to cover.
Yeah, there's a lot of
doing
context.
These pocket little stories. Like I don't remember who mentioned it. The pocket stories would probably be the best bet to go into.
Yeah, Adrian, he says a lot of the Marvel comics tend to just be pocket dimension stories either way. They're little one-offs and stuff like that.
Sometimes
that's like what if and shit, right?
Like if we're talking about King in Black, that did
that's an actual event. Yeah, that's an actual
that's not exactly one of those where it's like,
bro, fucking Trigger, I wasn't even thinking about that story. Like, that's still another part of the story, and they just introduced Venom and the fucking Black Sword, the Necro Sword.
We're not even getting to that, dude.
Like, that's like a whole other fucking end of the. I'm telling you, Mike, living in the world of the MCU, like, death is just bittersweet, anyways, dude. Like, yeah, like, just take me, bro. I can't buy.
How the fuck do you buy like car insurance? I mean, what the hell? Like, you can't insure life in New York.
Shit on the planet, dude. They're just like, look, it's gonna happen, but we can't pay you out.
No. The people in the MCU will be like, no, you can't buy superhero insurance.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah, it's bonkers, dude. And you know what, Trigger? I was just talking about that with Mike off camera, and I was telling him, like, the comic books are so convoluted with, like, in the X-Men stories, like, every week is like a whole new arc of, like, the world is ending because of the mutants, and then, like, something happens 3 days later and it's okay. It's like the Kamala Khan death. Like, I literally just saw that she was at the gala or whatever.
Yeah,
and she met Rasputin, which is a character in the story who comes from the future. And she's like, yo, I come with a message from the Five, but it's not about the Five, but it's nice to meet you. And then she, like, introduces herself. And literally 18 of the comments, like, literally scrolling down, was like, I thought Kamala Khan was dead. And I was like, yeah, dude, welcome to the fucking comic books, dude. Like, no one's ever dead in these things. The only person that ever died was fucking Marvel. Fucking Marvel.
Actually, yeah, Marvel's gone and been gone for a while.
And Mr. What's his fucking
Middleplex?
No.
Oh, that's from DC.
The fucking dude with the W, fucking
Wonder Man?
sunglasses.
Wonder Man?
Wonder Man, yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Man.
Yeah, Wonder Man.
Yeah.
He's
been alive in like 25 years.
But he was alive. He literally was just alive, like, during the whole.
Go ahead, find the panel.
Dude, he literally. Yeah, watch. His name's like Wade, isn't it?
Sure.
Mr. Or no, I'm not gonna say Wonder.
The last time I remember Wonder Man being alive was about 20 years ago. It was either after Onslaught or after Disassembled, when he made his own version of the Dark Avengers, and it had like Anti-Venom in it and a bunch of weird villains to take on the Avengers because he was pissed off about something with Wanda.
I am now Kermit drinking from the glass. I'll wait.
It says On November 1st, 2022, on an IGN article, it said, following one of the many deaths, Wonder Man returned to life, seemingly composed completely of pure energy, although the truth is more complex. At times, Wonder Man has claimed to be more than ionic energy, but more appropriate descriptions of his flesh and bones are infused with it.
Cool, man. I'd like to see a panel.
All right, let me say. All right, you guys keep talking. I'm going to find shit.
I'm going to call Vince out that no, Chris P cannot be Nick Fury. Yeah, Chris P needs to be Puck from Alpha Flight.
Yeah, right. Now you get to experience my job for a little bit.
Bro, like I've been dying to see Puck, man. Yeah. I want to see him in the new Marvels movie.
But, like, kind of like what I've been saying, at least with, like, where's Marvel going to go past Secret Wars, right? Honestly, at that point, start picking up the new Avengers pocket stories and kind of do what anime and mangas do and let those comics start coming out with new Avenger stories or Kid Avenger stories so that they'll be able to implement them into movies. Because at that point, that's really all we have.
Yeah, and we have a wealth of material to pull from. Like, I don't know why we don't have a Savage Avenger storyline and they go to the fucking Savage Land. Like, why don't we have Sauron and Stegron and the rest of the guys that were Spider-Man villains to begin with? That would make sense.
Oh, man. And you know what? And, like, I actually really like the Inhumans, even though I know everyone shits on them. But I really, really do like the Inhumans, and I would love to see them. But, like, the Humans are one of those where I'm very pick and choose on who I would like to see. Past that, like, I could give a fuck about anything.
It's going to be a controversial take, but I believe we should get the Civil War II storyline as a reintroduction of the Inhumans to the mainstream audience.
Okay. That I could get behind.
Yeah,
I could get behind. Yeah,
because the Terrigen Mist going across the world, randomly changing people. Some mutants are dying from exposure. There's all these horrible things that could happen.
I wouldn't even do that. I would just do that guy and his powers, and the magma guy who can't control them.
Yeah, and then we can still use the heavy hitters. I mean, Rhodey is a prominent part in it. She-Hulk, Captain Marvel. And then reintroduce Black Bolt and Medusa and the rest of the Inhumans coming in to save the Inhuman.
Yeah.
All right, Triggs, are you ready for a little bit? It's not even a lot. It's just one sentence, but this is going to give us at least a better idea of when Simon, which is his name, I forgot his whole fucking name, but answered the call to join the Avengers during Empire. So during that's not, dude, and
2017.
Yeah, the Empire, Road to Empire. That's the, what is it? The Kree Scroll one?
Yeah, that's about 2017.
2018.
But that was because we thought he died earlier than that. So he did return.
He did die earlier than that. He hasn't been around since 2018.
Dude, that guy's died more than fucking Deadpool.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, he's here. Like, he did come back from the first time. Well, I mean, I don't know how his powers work.
Is he?
Yeah, I don't know how his powers work.
Is he?
I hate that.
Yeah, so Wonder Man is ionic energy. He's some type of energy being that's within a physical form. So he dies and comes back because you can't destroy energy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It was July 2020, though. Yeah, but, considering the fact that, like, I assumed the death of Wonder Man would probably have come closer to WandaVision in the comics, which would have been, like, closer to, like, 2017, 2016, maybe even 2015. And then to see him come back in 2022, because I do remember him in 2020. I do remember him during the Captain Hydra story, because he was fighting the Hulk when they brought the Hulk back to life. And I know that was a little bit before that, but that was still recent, though. So still recent arcs. So I don't know, man.
I think Wonder Man is a really weird-ass character. He's never something that I've really connected
with.
The
only cool thing that he ever did was come out in that fucking bitch-ass Avengers like Saturday morning cartoon in 2003.
Hey, he also used to help you out in the Avengers video game by giving you power-ups when you were like doing the flying missions. He'd come out. Yeah, remember he'd be like, "Here you go, hero," or whatever. He'd say some shit and just like throw you a power-up.
No, dude, he gave me disappointment. That's what he gave.
Yeah, he gave me an aneurysm, motherfucker. Yeah, no, but straight up, yeah, man, I don't, me myself, truly, I don't believe that a Marvel reboot's going to be anything that's going to be helpful. What I think they need to do is they need to work with what they got and continue, but just a different path? Can you still work with different characters from the Avengers storyline? By all means, fuck yeah, you can. Yeah, bring them in. Fucking crossover with Wasp, crossover with Ant-Man or whatever. But I don't think they need a perfect reboot. So we're not going to get a redo of Gore the God Butcher or anything like that. Huh?
Paul Rudd is like 56.
Yeah, he ain't coming back anytime soon, man.
But he drinks virgin blood to stay immortal. That guy's gonna be young for
adrenal chrome.
That very well might be true. But fucking what's her face? Evangeline Lilly?
Yeah.
She looks like the fucking underside of my ball sack.
Yeah, she's smoking a lot of crack, dude.
Not look good.
If they can DH Harrison Ford, they can DH her.
They better use a lot of that budget then.
Yo, I hope they should do a normal movie, a normal human. They should just take all the characters and just give them normal jobs, dude, and just take away all their superpowers for a day, dude.
No, didn't we have that comic book Damage Control?
Back to fucking Shake Shack or whatever the fuck he was at, or Baskin Robbins.
Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, Baskin Robbins and shit. Yeah, straight. I really don't think a reboot's gonna save it or anything like that. But boys, it's been one fucking fun conversation though. I
got my whiskey in me. So.
Yeah, you're like anything we can do. I can talk days and shit like that.
I'm good for it, man. We'll go to 3 a.m. I'm just
No. It's 11:30, guys. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call it there. That was a great conversation. That was awesome, Mike. I don't want to keep you up too late. You have a good curfew or whatever. I know
I was drinking since 4:00, so
I know, dude. Mike's been drinking, man. It's happy hour somewhere, boys.
Right, 5 o'clock.
Mike, what do we got planned for the rest of the week for you, Mike? What are you gonna be doing, man?
Honestly, I had to postpone an event due to cancellations.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens. Contracts come and go, and you gotta stand your ground when people try to take more money than they're supposed to. So since I have no event this weekend, I got no work this weekend. I drank a bit more than I probably should have today, and I'm going to do nothing. You're not going to see
that.
Me
actually
anywhere.
Sounds like a video game kind of weekend, my man.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm going to play. My wife right now is playing Baldur's Gate 3. So maybe I'll turn on Spider-Man again and just give that a replay.
Hey man, don't let her turn on the without clothes option in her.
Oh no, I gave her permission last night. I was like, make them naked for all I give a shit. You go somewhere else to get thirsty, just come home to drink.
You're like, man, I play Cyberpunk a lot, and I'm always in the inventory, man.
Yeah,
I'm just nuts everywhere, dude. Just nuts and tits everywhere, dude. What do you? Baldur's Gate? Tell me about it, man. How you liking it?
Well, Baldur's Gate as a series altogether is amazing. It's in the Forgotten Realms of Dungeons & Dragons, and there's a lot of history there. And I've been a fan of, as we know, D&D for years. I've been playing it since 1998. So all the characters I'm familiar with, the opening sequence for that game is beautiful. I've been following it since PAX East back before COVID turned off the world. So,
nice.
I've had it on pre-order since then for my wife, and we're excited to have it here now.
Nice. And how's the gameplay?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, it's
phenomenal.
Much prettier, but man, it's amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Triggs, what are you playing this weekend, man? You got any games going on?
Actually, a brand new update for Scum just came out yesterday.
Yeah, you were saying that you're playing the game.
So I'm actually going to be playing that. And I actually have work tomorrow at 3:30 to 9. Guys, I'm going to be at Johnny's Liquor Cabinet in Edinburgh. So drop by if you guys want to buy some alcohol from me. I'll even give you a couple of classes if you guys don't know about what you're buying or, things like that.
No underage kids.
No underage.
Yeah, no underage kids.
If I see a fake ID, I promise I'll cut it up in front of you.
Better do the pranking one, dude. That's so funny. I'm watching that shit all week. It's like a skinny white guy comes in and he shows the guys like an ID with a black dude on it. And I gotta say the video, the guys just start laughing. It's the funniest shit. Yeah, he's like, I shaved. Man.
Chris is gonna show with a picture of Brian on an ID.
Yeah, he'll be like, it's Brian. It's me with Brian's ID. They're gonna be like, dude, no way, dude, get out of here. That's super funny.
No, actually, this week I am. I believe there is going to be a soft opening for my other job, which I am a bartender at a speakeasy in Mission called the Still Tap. I believe there's going to be a soft opening this week on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So I will be doing that. I will be making craft cocktails, with a modern spin. Nice. So I will also be doing that, guys.
Is that Georgie's place?
Yeah, man.
Is that George's and Rich's place? Yeah, Rich's came back to karate, so he's been training with me last couple of weeks, and he kind of let me know. He's like, man. What do you think going on? Huh?
Good, man.
He's
Yeah,
been there.
yeah.
He's been there with his son. He's been doing real good. So, man,
Which one? Yes, too.
the little one, the author.
Okay, yeah, the author. Got it.
Yeah, they've been coming in. They've been training at the gym, him and the son. So,
Good.
yeah, it's super, super cool. So it's good to see these guys doing it again, man. Maybe we'll get some old clam memories going on.
Dude, there's 3 of us there already, man. Me, George, and Richard. You know.
Yeah. Who's the 4th? Is it Ben or what?
Fuck no.
No, I was like, Ben hasn't been around for a long time.
Fuck no, dude.
No, but that's good shit, man. Well, congratulations on getting yourself some work going on. So,
yeah, man, I got 2 jobs. I'm trying to do some really good things, you know, while I'm back here in the Valley. You know, kind of going back to my roots, you know, with certain things. I still have absolutely nothing bad to say about Mexico. They treated me fucking amazingly, you know. But I mean, I'm back here in the Valley. You know, I'm here to stay for the most part. You know, for the foreseeable future, and you know, expect good things. Expect good things.
I am waiting for Armor Core 6.
Fires the roof on, man.
Dude, I've got such a hard on for that game, so I'm just waiting patiently for it.
Starfield, dude. I cannot wait for
Starfield. Looks really, really good too. Evo's this weekend, so I'm going to be monitoring all the Tekken, and Street Fighter 6 dropped a while back, so all the people are banging Rashid, which is another character from Street Fighter 5, who's a Haas, and they made him even worse in this one. So I want to see all the debauchery that's going to be happening with the cheating at Evo for Street Fighter 6.
Did you see that player who didn't turn off their naked mod for Chun-Li?
Oh, the Chun-Li one? Yeah, dude. Yeah. But that was at another like smaller event though. That was like the week before. But still, man, it made national news though. National news.
That made gamer news, bro. Like if you're a gamer, you know about that.
Just like 2.5 weeks ago, they released the this character named Rashad, who's this character that's like he kicks like hurricanes and stuff. He does like breakdancing moves. He's really good, but he's like an Aladdin Indian like that part of the world character. Like no, he's not like a capoeira guy, but he's like Indian, like an Indian guy, like a native, not Native American, but like India.
Dots not feathers.
Yeah, and dude, but he he throws like he does kicks and does like fucking thing, like whirlwinds or whatever. But they just found a fucking glitch that's like an infinite tornado. So like, I want to see how many fucking people are gonna be like, "Yo, check this cheat out over there at Evo." So it's just debauchery, bro. Like just debauchery. So we're gonna see what's up. I'm really excited to see the Tekken stuff. I'm a big Tekken fan, and other than that, probably jump on some Starship Troopers, dude. The game that they released a couple months ago or a month ago was
that game's
really fun.
See online quite a bit.
Dude, it's fantastic, dude.
So, gentlemen, I am still without my PC at the moment.
I heard, yeah. You're on the deck, right? Yeah. How do you like that? How do you like the portable vibe of a PC? Yeah, like playing games on it though. Like,
are you fucking serious? I could go to the Walrus right now, tune out, put on my headphones, and drink, and I'm fine.
Yeah, don't do that at the Walrus. You meet people at the Walrus. You have a normal time. Don't fucking go play video games. People are gonna look at you like a weird motherfucker.
Let them step, dude.
Let them. They don't got a fucking stream deck. God damn.
I'm drunk. At this point, I'm looking for a conflict.
Dude. Well, boys, I'm gonna say thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, Triggs. Thank you. I know you had work and stuff like that, and you were able to make it in time.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I'm doing some things into my job. You know, I'm working up to a management position right now, which is kind of like where like some things that I had arranged with the owner before I got home. So yeah, before I even came home, was that I was going to be working up to a manager position. And you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, Mr. Betancourt, I'm sure that, you know, you can attest to this, you know, like there are just certain positions that you don't go into unless like there is a hard, you know, like title or pay structure.
Oh yeah, 100%. You need that contract in place. You need that pay in place. You just
and it was kind of the same thing. Like I told him, you know, I was like, look, man, I really don't go into a position now without the title manager being in front of me, because I have been doing what I've been doing since I was 18 years old. I'm now in my nearly mid 30s, so I've been doing this upwards of 16 years, and I don't step in. And I just left the vendor industry, the corporate industry. So yeah, I don't go into a position without manager being in my name.
And I do think that's something that that people don't realize, and it's a discussion I have whenever I get an intern doing conventions and stuff. That from a business standpoint, it makes sense for you to go to the corporate world and do all that jazz. But when you're alone, when you're on your own as a self entity, your own business, you're trying to do the hustle thing, and you come out as an entrepreneur, you have to take care of yourself. You cannot risk taking on more responsibilities or whatever without confirmation of that pay, confirmation of that title, and make sure that you are safe. Because if you jump before you're sure, you're gonna hit the damn floor and it's gonna suck.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where exactly with what Michael was saying, like I have been promised those things and not had to deliver. And now I'm not going to say that I'm in a position where I can just walk away, but I'm in a position where I'm ready to do whatever is necessary to make sure that I can maintain a certain level of comfortability with myself. And on top of that, like Thursday, 7:30, let me see what I can do about that, brother. Let me see what I can do about that. Hit me up on my DMs. We'll work something out, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was saying, it's one of those things where I just don't go into a position willy-nilly anymore. And it's kind of like one of those things where you always see those girls like, I know my worth or anything like that. For me, it really is like, look, man, I really do know what I'm worth. I really, really do. I've been in this industry my entire adult life. I'm almost in my mid-30s. I know every aspect of my industry probably better than some owners do or some entrepreneurs do. And I know how to deliver on those said promises, because I have certain contacts in my phone on speed dial on a first name basis that they haven't met yet.
Okay.
So
that's good stuff.
It's not me like making a power play or anything like that. It's me saying like, hey,
it's taking the initiative to have value in yourself.
No, it's more of like, I am a benefit to you, and you should recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we make the joke like, oh, you're not there in your corset in a mini skirt saying, I know my worth, but your worth. At this point, you know what you can bring, and either they're going to pay for it or they just can't afford to hire you at this point.
Thank you very much, Mark, man. Thank you very, very much. Well, good job, boys. For me, like I said, I'm just going to be doing some Starship Troopers playing, probably get on my drone stuff because I need to practice. I like drone flying. That's probably like my thing. So,
dude, drone flying is fun, man. My dad has a drone, and it is fun as shit.
It's very, very cool. There's been a lot of problems going on recently with the FFA.
It's an actual cinema drone.
Okay, what does he got? Like a Maverick or something?
Yeah, he has a GoPro. He has the last GoPro.
The big one.
Yeah,
the big one with the GoPro setup.
Dude,
it's fun. The Phantom with the GoPro.
No. He has like a GoPro 6 that attaches to it. And dude, it's sick as fuck, bro. Like for real, it is super fucking nice. And like RIP, we actually did I did some commercials, and I made some footage for a Mr. Mario de Leon.
Nice.
And he was using them on some promotional feeds for the water treatment plant in Sherryland or in Mission.
Very cool, very cool, very cool.
And the orchards also in Mission. And I'm the one who did that aerial footage, of those things.
Mike, I forgot to ask you this too. I know you guys postponed one of your events, but do you have any other events that you're going to be working on?
Coming up this month, I'll be partnering with Rabbit Mongoose Productions, which is good old Miss Margaret, for her Sailor Moon pop-up she's doing in Mission, which I believe is the 25th. I might be wrong on that date because I'm horrible remembering numbers. And then I postponed the Psychotronic Spree till
for September
16th and 17th, and we'll be announcing new guests for that one shortly.
Sweet, man.
Because I'll be back for my wedding, and I can actually catch that.
Yeah, which we'll love to have you there. Maybe we can have you both guys set up the podcast and do a special from there.
Oh, dude, don't even fucking play, bro. I'll fucking be around.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be totally down to do some fun stuff.
If you guys are going to do any overnight things, I will gladly force myself to stay overnight.
I don't think we do anything night-wise, is it?
Right now, the show's going to start at 4 p.m. till midnight.
Nice.
We have the short film horror contest that's being built right now.
Good stuff.
Our Duchess Alyssa Renez from our Vampire Masquerade, she's going to be running that for us.
Sweet.
We have the concert with 3 bands. The Polybius Cabinet will be coming back, and 2 others.
Nice.
We have the second vampire pageant to get our next 3 members of the royal court. We hopefully, if we can pull it off with scheduling, have Father Joshua from the church in Lyford come and give a talk on what it is to be an exorcist and the reality of being an exorcist in Rio Grande Valley.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So cool.
So we're
An exorcist, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring the kind of content that you don't get at a regular Comic-Con because we are adults, so we are 18 plus, and kind of just to streamline what horror stories tell you and what the reality is.
Or sort of thing. Are you guys checking IDs at the door?
Yeah, we check IDs at the door. We will allow the state of Texas will allow a minor to come in if a parent signs a waiver. But we require
under the discretion of the event or establishment.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
because
we
it's
are
not
allowing
a bar, it's an
child
event center still.
Yeah, a minor from 15 years old up to be signed by a parent. But we have those waivers available.
Okay.
Sweet.
Do you guys have like wristbands to like identify that?
Yeah, we got wristbands,
marking?
we got specific tickets, the whole 9 yards. We have a sheriff that comes in and acts as a security. Yeah, we got everything going.
Well, even with that, it's on a private event center either way. Like, so it's not like a real.
Granted, but people get through. Like you're gonna find 15-year-olds with beards just like mine, dude.
Yeah. I make the joke that when I turned 15, I stopped being carded. I could just go walk into 7-Eleven and buy whatever beer I wanted.
Buy whatever you want.
Because I look fucking for
so we joke about oh yeah, I still got carded. I'm 28, but like there are kids not getting carded at like 19, 18 because they have a full beard.
Yeah.
And like for me, dude, and I hate to put it like this, dude. If your skin looks too nice, I'm gonna fucking card you.
Yeah, well, when I was bartending, I fucking carded everybody. I could give a shit if you were 80 years old or 22. Give me the ID. I need to count. Yeah, I was not gonna resist. You don't fucking mess with TABC. Those guys are rough.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, dude, man, do I have stories about that? That's for another conversation. We're not gonna get into that right now.
Yeah,
it's almost midnight, so.
All righty, boys. Well, it's been a good conversation, Mike. I want to say thank you so much for jumping in with us today. It's always a privilege having you, man. It's always a good time catching up. Like I said, guys, if you ever need to get a hold of Michael Betancourt, social media, Mike.
Yeah,
where can they get a hold of
you? You can find me on Facebook.
Eels.
Yeah, you can get me on Instagram. You can look at the Psychotronic Spree on Instagram and Facebook, and I think we have a TikTok now that the girls are running. Our models are running that.
Oh, very nice.
You can find us all over the place.
Sweet.
I guess I'll take a look at that.
Yeah. All righty, boys. You guys have a good night. I want to say thank you to all our extraordinary listeners and all the people that jump in comments. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate every one of you for tuning in with us every week and coming and hanging out with us every Friday night. Don't forget, we also do have a Spotify. Anywhere you go to for podcasting, our podcast is there. We upload it every Sunday. All the episodes that we do live are on every Sunday, every week. I always put them up. And don't forget, we also have a YouTube channel, guys. Don't forget to go check us out there. Thank you so much to all our extraordinary listeners. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys again here next Friday, the Average Boys Podcast. Laters.